Good afternoon, everyone. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of southern Michigan here. I am Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma alongside Ryan. I'll turn on his audio. We are Michigan Storm Chasers. We are tracking severe weather today, this afternoon, July the 12th. It's a Saturday, just past noon. And here is that severe thunderstorm warning down by the border of Michigan and Ohio. It's a nice potent line that kind of extends the entire length of east central Lenawee County. The National Weather Service in Detroit has issued this severe thunderstorm warning for western Monroe and eastern Lenawee until 1 p.m. At 12:06, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Adrian to Blissfield to Delta, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are the main hazard with this storm, and these severe thunderstorms will be near Tecumseh and Blissfield around 12:10, Deerfield and Britain around 12:15, Petersburg, Ottawa Lake 12:25, Dundee around 12:30, and Milan around 12:35. There's a bunch of other cities in this severe thunderstorm warning as well, but as long as you know you're located in this orange box, you are included in this severe thunderstorm warning. Torrential rainfall also occurring with these storms may lead to some flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. Again, this is 60-mile-per-hour winds in effect until 1 p.m.
Joel, I want to mention as well, up in the Brighton area, 96 and 23 corridor off the DTX radar, we're getting winds upwards of close to 60 miles per hour there. Excuse me. No warning in effect at this time.
There it is.
But looks pretty gust. There you go. Never fails. So new warning coming in here. It looks like Livingston, parts of Livingston, Oakland, probably northern Washtenaw and northern Wayne as well, I have to assume. We'll see what they do with that polygon. It's going to be for just Livingston and Oakland County till 1:15. 60-mile-per-hour winds is the hazard with that storm.
Yeah, so southwestern Oakland, southeastern Livingston. We'll be near south line around 12:15, so here in the next 5 minutes. Milford at 12:20 estimated, Novi 12:30 estimated, West Bloomfield around 12:50. Other locations impacted by this new severe thunderstorm include Waterford, Orchard Lake, White Lake, Island Lake State Recreation Area, Commerce, Wolverine Lake, New Hudson, Farmington, Walled Lake, and Wixom. Again, it's the 60-mile-per-hour winds and hail less than pennies. And both of these storms are the exact same in terms of 60-mile-per-hour winds, and they're heading off again to the northeast around 25 miles per hour. You can see the kind of direction. If I go ahead and loop this here, you can see where these storms are exactly heading. Both warnings pretty much issued at the exact same time. So one heading into Oakland County and one heading towards Monroe County. Washtenaw kind of split right now. You do have some special weather statements in effect for this line, but again, these storms are subsevere at the current time in Washtenaw County. And those will head towards Wayne, where there is a Tigers game this afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Hey, Joel, go ahead and take my screen share. I have a view of the Brighton cell from our Storm Guard camera in Lake Orion. It is gorgeous from a distance. Also, I'm about to get slammed here at my house. Like, legitimately slammed. I got a pocket of 60-mile-per-hour winds going right over my house. Joel, I can't hear you.
Sorry. Of course, after I was saying so much too. We're going up here to the top portion of northern Michigan, and primarily because we have what's called a low-end tornado risk today. You can already see this on your screen. There's the backwards C shape in Elkona County. This cell has a special weather statement for 40-mile-per-hour winds. And again, these are showing
Take
that
my
classic
camera.
C.
Take my camera. Sorry, we're getting 60-mile-per-hour winds here going over on the radar over my house. It's coming. I can hear it outside. There it is. Here we go. Jeez.
Looks like we also lost Cody's cam. Take that off.
That was a gust and a half. Let me see my station gusted 2 there. I have a weather station in the backyard on the other side of this camera, and let's see what's monitoring right now. .65 miles per hour on the radar. I have a gust to 51 on my station in the backyard.
That's pretty much almost severe.
Yeah, and that looks like this pocket of gusty winds on radar is still off to my south here too, so it could continue to be gusty here the next couple of minutes. This is in Britton, Lenawee County, in the severe warning right now.
People are asking what type of weather station you have.
Is an ambient WS2902.
Internal discussion has just been posted, by the way. Guess we're still having issues with our notifications for YouTube. Interesting. I got a notification for the briefing earlier, but not the live stream either, so weird. Looks like it's calmed down now there.
Yeah, it's calmed down. Radar still indicates that this is a very gusty moving through Britain and Ridgeway areas. Also want to take note, the gusts continue down toward the Wellsville and Blissfield as well as Palmyra areas here on the radar. This is again Lenawee County moving into western Monroe. I'm up here in the town of Britain. I just got slammed here by roughly 50 to 60 mile per hour winds here on radar. In fact, radar estimating 67 miles per hour now over M50 just to the east of Britain. That's going to be moving off to the east-northeast here. So places impacted will be Whiteford Township, Petersburg, Deerfield, Dundee, Milan, Azalea, as well as the Oakville areas. Small town of Cone there, rural areas. This is my backyard, so knows pretty well. This continues off to the east-northeast. Be on alert here in the southern part of Wayne County as well as the southeastern part of Washtenaw County. Taking a peek up here further north toward Brighton. These winds continue to look pretty gusty as well. In fact, take our inspector tool here. 67 here on radar being indicated just north of 96, just to the east of Brighton. In fact, new scan here heading in toward Milford, as well as Highland, White Lake, Wixom, and Novi areas. Very nice pocket of likely 50 to 60 mile per hour winds in this warning as well. Two warnings here, also tracking storms up in northern Michigan where we could have a tornado threat up here. In fact, we have some rotation on radar here, Joel, just to the west and north of Wilbur, showing up on radar. These storms are broadly weakly rotating as of right now, actually, so nothing overly tight, but it does warrant some concern as we have higher wind shear values further north. We could see a tornado spin up there, as a chance up there is much higher further north than it is further south today. Taking a peek back down here in Lenawee, going to kind of keep a close eye on things. We're going to be looking a few pockets here of damaging winds south of Blissfield near Riga area. So if you're near Riga, south of 223, heading up in toward Summerfield Township as well as Whiteford Township. Also up here by Wellsville along Deerfield Road, heading into Deerfield and Petersburg eventually. Then up here, looks like the strongest impacted the town of Britain here, moving up toward Cone and Azalea as well as Milan Township, and eventually Milan if this continues. These brighter pockets of white and blue color are 50 to 60-ish mile per hour winds. This is in eastern Lenawee County, and it's going to be moving into western Monroe County. Up here in Washtenaw County, we have a statement in effect for the Ann Arbor area. The winds on this storm, they could be gusty, but they do not look strong or severe at this current time. Kind of goes to show you as well why radar height and location of the radar matters here. So, for example, here's Detroit's radar up here in White Lake. If we go down here to Lenawee County and turn on velocity, it doesn't look severe, honestly, on the Detroit radar. We're looking at around 3,000 to 4,000 feet up in the atmosphere. We switch down here to the airport radar, which is in Sumter Township up there in Wayne County. This beam height's about 500 feet to about 1,000 feet, and you can see the winds on the lower beam height are reaching the ground here. And this pocket up here, heading toward Milan Township and Cone, looks very potent, Joel. It looks like close to 70 here in spots. Zoom in here. I guess I was wrong. 60, 62 at most. Still a nice pocket there over Milwaukee Road heading into the Cone on the Monroe County, Lenawee County line. That's heading right for Milan. So if you're in Milan or anywhere around Milan, be in your safe place inside away from windows. This is heading right for you. It's a nice pocket of likely damaging winds heading right your direction. So be in your safe place inside away from windows. Go to your basement if you have one until the storm passes.
Cody's got a nice bowl-shaped lowering on the storm in the Wixom area right now, behind the scenes. Hoping we get his cam back in. Have it up there in the top left, just in case he does. Switching back to my radar real quick, I have it set in northeast lower again. Still continuing to monitor a broadly rotating cell just outside of Oscoda in northern Iosco County. Where we see these reds and greens somewhat close together like that, that is going to be your signs of rotation. Again, this entire mesocyclone is rotating right now. But again, it's in the upper levels. We're not seeing it mix down to the surface yet. But it is something we'll have to watch in the coming minutes, as this is in a very favorable environment, as mentioned. Could start to get gusty there soon as well. I would expect maybe a statement coming in the near probably 5 or 10 minutes. And just looking at base reflectivity, it has that inflow region on the bottom of the storm as well. You have to see a little bit of a hook. For those who missed the update earlier, the Storm Prediction Center has put all of eastern Michigan in a 40% chance to see some sort of watch today. I would expect probably a severe thunderstorm watch if it is issued. But again, it's only a 40% chance. Either way, there's going to be severe storms today. You can already see there's 2 down here as I take Ryan's radar back. There's 2 in southern Michigan right now, one for Lenawee, Monroe counties, and you also have one entering Oakland County just to the north. Ryan, Mike.
Yeah, this is a pretty potent line here. Got a few areas still being shown on radar of very intense winds over here toward, again, County Line Road, heading up toward Milan over Cone, down here in Deerfield moving toward Petersburg, also down here in the Riga area moving toward Whiteford and Summerfield Township. If this continues further east and north, Ida Township, perhaps as far south as Bedford areas. Up here by M50, Monroe, as well as Carlton, Ash Township, and London Township with this warning. Further east in Monroe County, there's no warning yet, but if this continues, I'd expect there to be one issued. Then also further north here in the Brighton area, this continues to progress to the east-northeast toward the radar. So White Lake, Wixom areas, over Milford currently, heading up toward Commerce Charter Township. I'm going to go ahead and take your screen back, Joel. I'm going to go ahead and look at the cameras here real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is a nice updraft. I'm going to share this over here just a second on my screen.
Okay.
This is the severe storm over the Brighton area is actually heading toward the Lake Orion camera. It's got a ways to go before it gets there, but the camera's facing directly at it, and it has a beautiful, beautiful view. That is being displayed now.
Oh, wow. Beautiful mushroom top.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite the top there.
That is Lake Orion.
Camera here is on Stormguard HQ in Lake Orion, one of our long-standing sponsors here. Also now a camera sponsor, so thank you to Stormguard for sponsoring this camera and giving us views like this.
And that would be looking southwest.
Yes, yep.
So that's looking right into that storm. There's not a whole lot of speed shear out there today. These storms are billowing pretty much straight up with a little bit of tilt out to the northeast. But overall, when you get lower wind shear days, especially across southern Michigan now, upper into northern Michigan, there's a lot more. But southern Michigan, you're going to have these cells that blossom literally straight up. Did you just lose power?
I think so.
How are you still live? It just got really dark over there, and I don't know how you're still live. Oh. Yep. Lost your radar and your cam. I think Ryan just lost power. It's like, oh no. Oh no. Oh dear. It literally all just cut out kind of just very, very slowly there. So thank goodness I'm hosting today here in Mount Pleasant where there should be no severe storms. But he is down here in the severe thunderstorm warning right now, which looks like it just took out his power firsthand. So there's your firsthand look at what's going on there in southeast Michigan. He is near Britain or in Britain, Michigan. So he's kind of out of the storm right now, but again, if there's connected to circuits off to the east, then I would not be surprised if wind damage to the east, which likely is ongoing here, close to Milan. Again, these pixels are around 60 miles per hour heading towards Milan and Oakville right now. You also have a couple instances of damaging winds down here in Blissfield. Oh dear. Yeah, Ryan is out of power. We'll see if we can get his cam back at some point, but I doubt it. Again, these storms are rolling through his neck of the woods right now. And I am the host of the stream, so as long as my power stays on, we'll be good. Weather happens, unfortunately. And we do have a new special weather statement coming in for Iosco and Elkona. So that storm I was watching up here, that does have a hook on it. There it is. It's heading towards Mikado and Harrisville eventually. So if you're in those cities, please take note. This is a strong thunderstorm heading to your neck of the woods. Go ahead and see the statement coming in here just a sec. Wind gust to 50 miles per hour is the only hazard of this storm. Hi, Ryan. Can you hear me?
Yep.
How are you still live?
It just flickered off for a minute.
Oh. Is it back on?
Yeah,
Okay.
for now at least. I think my battery backup tried to kick in there for a second. And
Yeah.
yeah. No, I'm good. Let me get the lights back on here if I can. Need to be reset. So. Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Just everything cut off really slowly. We do have a new, I don't know if you heard me, but we do have a new special weather statement for Iosco and Alcona. We also have a new severe thunderstorm warning coming in now for the middle portion of the batch, Washtenaw and Wayne. So there's that new statement up there. You can see the tan box, the top of your screen heading towards Harrisville for that 50-mile-per-hour winds. We now have a new severe thunderstorm warning coming in. Just a moment. There it is. Also trimming this severe thunderstorm warning from Livingston County. So Livingston County warning is out. You guys are clear in Livingston. However, new severe thunderstorm warning for Ann Arbor, Saline, and moving off towards the east into western Livonia County. If you are in Livonia County, you might be hearing sirens soon because of the severe thunderstorm warning. The National Weather Service in Detroit has issued the severe thunderstorm warning for those counties until 1:30 p.m. Again, this is western Wayne and eastern Washtenaw. So if you're not inside this orange box, chances are you're not getting alerts on your phone. Again, it's Polyon based. In effect till 1:30, as mentioned. At 12:28, severe thunderstorms are located along this line, extending from Whitmore Lake to near Ann Arbor to near Milan, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. It's 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and these severe storms will be near Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti, Milan, Canton, Salem, and Dixboro around 12:35. Willis at 12:40, Northville 12:45, Belleville 12:50, Livonia 12:55, and Romulus around 1 o'clock. Other locations impacted by this new severe thunderstorm warning include Wayne, Pittsfield Township, Whitaker, Westland, Willow, Plymouth, Sumter Township, New Boston, Barton Hills, and Garden City. Also, special text in here says people attending Plymouth Art in the Park and Saline Celtic Festival should seek safe shelter immediately. A tongue twister there. And also torrential rainfall occurring with the storm. So we now have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings in southeast Michigan. This big line of damaging winds moving through the area. You can see every individual pocket of wind on here. We switch it over to velocity, which we are now on. Go ahead and take Ryan's cam off since that went down. So here's all the pockets up and down the line. We got a couple here near Warden. We have one pretty much in Ann Arbor right now. Have another line of gusty winds here just to the east of Saline. We have a line in Milan. And then this whole segment here from Milan down to Petersburg and even to the east of Blissfield is also gusty with a nice pocket here on, US 223, moving off to the northeast again at about 25 to 30 miles per hour.
We have outages rolling in now across Lenawee County in the Blissfield, Palmyra, and Riga areas. Numerous outages. Across the state, we have what appears to be 4,500 people out of power.
I was wondering if you're sharing your screen or anything.
Should be. Refresh it.
Yeah, let me refresh.
There it goes.
All the cams.
Yep.
So that is the Storm Guard cam in Lake Orion. Looking to the southwest. And there it is. finally got a new severe warning coming in for northeast lower.
It's like it's also tagged with Tor possible on it.
That I would believe that. Go ahead and switch back to my radar here. Wait for it to pop in. Once it does, we'll go ahead and go through the hazards.
Yep, 60-mile-per-hour winds, pea-sized hail, and a tornado possible.
This warning's taking forever to pop up.
Excuse me.
What's going on?
Want me to get on mine?
Sure. For some reason the box isn't popping up on mine right now.
It basically just aligns with the exact same statement, minus the northern half of.
There it is. It just popped up on mine.
Correct.
There's the new orange box. National Weather Service in Gaylord has issued the severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Alcona County until 1 p.m. At 12:32, severe thunderstorm was located near Mikado, 10 miles northwest of Oscoda, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. As Ryan mentioned, it's 60-mile-per-hour winds, and a tornado is also possible with this storm. The severe thunderstorm will be near Mikado around 12:35, Harrisville, Lincoln, Harrisville State Park around 12:40 p.m. Remain alert for a possible tornado, and tornadoes can develop quickly from any severe thunderstorms. If you see a tornado, go to the lowest floor or basement into your room if possible. So tornado possible, severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-per-hour winds for Harrisville, southeast Alcona County, where there is favorable shear up there today. And wow, that latest scan really starts to pick up the inflow region a little more. There's a lot more red starting to pop up. This center of rotation is going to be over Goddard Road, near Goddard Road and Elvin Road, heading straight into the Mikado region. So we're going to be following straight up F41 to the north and north-northeast. So we'll keep an eye on that. Ryan, if you want to take your radar back so you can focus on both sections of the state at the same time.
Yep, I'm actually getting my GR2 pulled up for that storm. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I'm gonna toggle this back and forth here. I've come to the conclusion that I need more screens. There you go. It's live. Yeah, that actually is really starting to look interesting down there. Or should I say up there in Alcona County.
Yeah, this red and green region. Again, for those who are curious what we're looking at here, this is the velocity product. So this is always a teaching moment, what you do every single live stream. The reds and the greens are relative to the radar's location. So in this case, the radar is located over here in Otsego Lake. It's the National Weather Service Gaylord office. The storm is off to the southeast of it. And we have the greens is winds heading towards that radar site off to the northwest, and reds are heading away from the radar site. And right where those come very, very close together, and the brighter they are, the tighter the rotation and the more intense the winds will be. So we can see reds and greens very, very, very close together actually right now. And they're starting to show signs of brightening, which means this rotation is intensifying, and perhaps the first stages of tornado genesis here. This is going down road F41 towards Wistmiller Road in the Mikado region. So if you're in Mikado, I would be taking shelter immediately in the lowest floor of the building into your room. If you do not have a interior room, any bathroom with a bathtub, make sure you get down and protect your head. That is the most important thing. So again, as a tornado possible, it does not mean it's on the ground yet, but again, tornado, there is a lot of rotation being shown on radar here, and so a tornado can develop at any time. The purple on radar is called range full. It's just bad data that they cover up with a purple pixel.
If I take my radar back here, I can go over to Lenawee and Monroe County here. So got one pocket of concerning damaging winds here. It's going to be over the Summerfield area. I'm going to cross US 23 toward Ida and Lulu, those general vicinities. This is actually weakened quite significantly over the past couple of scans. We do have a pocket of gusty winds cross just south of Milan. That's now exited and now looks like it's weakened out, but that'd be moving toward Oakville and eventually West Sumter here. Augusta, and Willis areas. So this looks like it's weakened out considerably versus what it was showing a few scans ago. Strongest winds appear to be down here, just west of US 23, south of Summerfield. Up here in the Brighton area, go ahead and take back our GTX radar. Nice line here working through both Washtenaw as well as Livingston counties. So we're going to be looking here at Oakland County now, to be exact. We have the strongest pocket just south of 96, heading up toward Wixom, Walled Lake, and Wolverine Lake. We got Lion Charter Township here, as well as Salem Township affected. This gust front expands further south as well. So Superior Township, Frayne Lake, Ypsilanti. It doesn't look as strong as it is further north, but still a gust front moving through your general area. Further north than that, storms are pretty isolated in nature. We have a couple cells popping up in the Huron County area, Dicaseville, Bayport. Also have a couple cells popping up by Bay City, Midland, and Mount Pleasant areas, just off to your east, Joel. And then also, as Joel has been monitoring up here, we have a couple storms in the Oscoda, Alcona County, and Alpena areas as well. It is still... I can hear the wind outside whipping. It is still blowing hard. So lots going on here. A couple warnings in effect. I think the highest concern right now, aside from the storm down here in the Summerfield area, would be the Tor possible tag on the other storm in Alcona County. Yeah, latest scan here continues that trend of really gusty winds here heading up toward Lulu and Ida Township. So, taking back the Detroit radar here, we're going to take a zoomed out look and animate this. This it's going to be moving in toward Macomb County here soon, as well as most of Wayne County. Monroe County looks like the line is a little weaker in nature. We'll see if it re-intensifies or not. The orange color on your screen are all severe thunderstorm warnings. All these warnings have tagged 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. So no severe hail is expected. Got some small hail mixed in. But most of these storms, in fact, all these storms down here in the southern part of the state, are warned for wind and wind only, whereas up here in northeastern Michigan, in Alcona County by Mankato, we have a tornado possible tag as well as a tag for a possible tornado.
We do have other chasers out there right now. We have Mike and Tyler. We're live.
Nice. Do we have anybody up there in northern? I don't believe we do.
I don't believe so.
That rotation still hangs out there. It's still on the weaker side, but it's definitely still exhibiting signs of rotation as it moves toward Harrisville and Greenbush areas. Gonna be over Mankato, just south of Guston. Latest power outages now went from about 4,500 to 7,059. So we just jumped quite a few thousand people there in the last 10 or 15 minutes.
So Ryan and I are kind of dual boxing back and forth between southeast Michigan and northeast Michigan. We got a severe thunderstorm warning for Alcona County, which includes Mikado and Harrisville. And that is for 60-mile-per-hour winds, tornado possible. And then down on Ryan's radar, we have 3 different severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for Monroe, portions of Washtenaw and Wayne, as well as Oakland County, all for 60-mile-per-hour winds as well.
8 friends across the border in Toledo just got under a severe warning as well for 60-mile-per-hour winds for that part of the line as well. So just across the border is now warned too. I'll say Monroe County, out of all these, looks to be pretty weak in nature. I'm not sure they're going to extend the warning out or not. We'll have to see what they do here. I would have to imagine, though, looking at the radar here, there is a boundary. I have to imagine, Joel, a nice shelf cloud along that. I would have to assume, at least. So anybody in Monroe areas, Carlton, Berlin Township, Luna Pier, looking to your west, could see a nice storm, a front moving in here very shortly.
The good news that I'm seeing in the latest scan from our storm up here in Northeast Lower is that our velocities come a little bit more cluster. It's kind of been spreading out a little bit, kind of going maybe through a cycling process as it passed over Mikado. So good news there. It's still a severe thunderstorm nonetheless. I would expect at least 60-mile-per-hour winds happening in downburst fashion or straight line wind fashion. However, again, rotation is still there. It's just very, very weak at the current time. Still, tornadoes can develop at any time from a severe thunderstorm, so keep that in mind if you are in the Harrisville as well as Lincoln area of Alcona County. We also have a couple stronger storms off to the northwest right now. It's kind of scattered throughout. Also in good shear parameters right now. And these are all heading up towards the Osneek, Harrisville, Oscoda, Glenny, even back here towards Canada Creek Ranch region, which these lines back here aren't expected to be more as tornadic, given that the shear vectors are more parallel to the front, whereas these storms over here have a lot more turning. Mike's got a good cam view wherever he's at. Do you have his location?
Let me reach out to him. I'm trying to find him on the map here, but I don't see him offhand.
I see Rawsonville Road. Just past.
Oh, so he's in the Belleville area.
There you go.
So he's on 94 near Belleville. I assume he's facing to the west there. Yeah, he's westbound.
So he's looking at the cell in Ypsi right now.
Yeah, there he is. I got him now. Westbound from Romulus, Belleville toward Ypsilanti. Looks like they just updated the warning for Alcona.
Yep.
I assume they trim that back. Continued 60-mile-per-hour winds as well as a possible tornado tag on that. So now includes Wickado, Greenbush, Guston, Harrisville, Springport, and Alcona. This will be along US 23 up there as well. So it'll be over the lake here soon. In the meantime, it does continue to weakly rotate. Aside from that storm, going further south here, we do have other storms popping up, Joel. West Branch, as well down here by the Tri-Cities. Billings, Edenville areas, as well as closer to Midland and Merrill. The one up here over Caseville actually has a nice hail core on this one. Just noticed that. I'd be shocked to see some hail with that one, being that they have a nice core on that, around 8,000 feet or so. Yeah. New statement coming in here for Monroe County. They're going to opt to go statement, not a warning. They're saying wind gusts up to 50 as well as pea-sized hail. That is likely due to the weakening trend the storm has exhibited over the past 20 minutes or so. So expected to be gusty winds with these storms as they push through the county. But in terms of severe, as of right now, 12:46 p.m., we're not seeing anything on radar that indicates severe is ongoing there in Monroe County.
So we have a comment in here, Ryan, that Mikado is pronounced Mikado, just like how Milan is Milan. It's like M-Y.
Got it.
Either way, that storm is now past Mikado, and you are on the edge of that severe thunderstorm warning at the current time, so should be good here in about 2 minutes. The storm continues to roll into Harrisville right now.
Also have the storm front coming into view on the storm guard camera.
Oh, nice. Also, for those who might be going to Detroit for the Tigers game, it has been delayed. Rightfully so, with the I can't speak, with those severe thunderstorms moving into the area. Wow. Again, those storms are moving into Wayne County as we speak right now. Just about to cross over, or is crossing over the county line right now, which I believe Mike is driving right down the county line.
Anybody has reports of damage, feel free to drop us a message on Facebook. Also utilize our Facebook group called Michigan Weather Reports. I see a couple areas that could have damage just east of Brighton. That's one area to watch, as well down by the Blissfield area and in the Britain to Milan area as well in Lenawee County to Monroe County. Wouldn't be shocked to see some damaged pictures come out of those general areas from the previous storms. So again, reports of damage, pictures, videos, just general reports, feel free to use Michigan Weather Reports group on Facebook, or you can send us a direct message on Facebook to the page Michigan Storm Chasers. What you got there, Joel?
Right over Ipsy. Looks like we have a quick little downburst.
Yeah.
It's right over downtown there. You can see where the reds and greens get very bright for a second. Also one up here happening right now in south side of Salem. So a couple isolated pockets there of downburst ongoing off the Detroit airport radar. Also perhaps down towards Maybe and even close to the Temperance region. I don't have as many cities on mine, but those are some cities I'm seeing on my radar. So as a quick kind of recap here, severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for Oakland, Western Wayne, Eastern Washtenaw, Monroe, Western Monroe, with a special alert statement for all of Eastern Monroe. And we also have a severe thunderstorm warning now, which has been trimmed for Harrisville in the Alcona County region for 60-mile-per-hour winds and a tornado possible. Everything in southeast Michigan right now is just 60-mile-per-hour winds, maybe some small hail mixing in, but the cell up here in Alcona County in northeast lower is for 60-mile-per-hour winds and that tornado possible. Gonna watch that West Branch cell as well really quickly. Perhaps a little bit of inflow starting to mix in there for that cell in Ogemaw County, but we'll keep an eye on it. There's no statement or warning on it at the current time. It looks like you had something to say, Ryan.
Yeah, I was going to point that out too. It looks like West Branch needs to be watched here going forward. Also, the we have super chat coming in there from looks like Via, I believe the name was.
So
appreciate your support there.
Yep, we have a $49.99 super chat from Van Via. Thank you very much, Van. Also going back to cover the 3 super chats that I've missed, we have Shane Smith with a $5 super chat. Would love to become a storm chaser for Northern Michigan. Just had to work today is all, or else I would be out there myself. If you would like to become a CPN, again, we do have a form on our website if you want to check that out. Again, thank you for supporting the channel. We also have Fun Times earlier in the stream who donated 20 gifted memberships to our YouTube subscribers. Thank you for that. As well as a $20 super chat saying, stay safe, everyone. We can get through this. Joel and Ryan, how's Farmington Hills looking like for later? I'm dog sitting until later tonight. And I just want to know if I will be good. As always, thank you for all you do. You want to chime in there on the Farmington Hills region?
I was actually going to say take my screen here for Lake Orion. The storm is approaching very quickly. It could also be pretty gusty in nature here too. For as far as Farmington Hills goes, looks like we're going to be having. Gotta find you here. There you go. You got some gusty winds heading your way. You are into severe thunderstorm warning. The winds don't appear to be that intense on radar, but I would still be prepared for probably 40 mile per hour, give or take a few miles per hour of winds moving into your general vicinity there in the next 10 or 15 minutes. So I don't see any rotation on radar. The winds are pretty gusty. That's about it. I'm gonna get a. Ooh, actually, I'm gonna cycle through these. We have it appears to be a Mattis clouds here on the Mirestone Ranch camera. So these cameras are getting some really good shots here across the southern part of Michigan. So that's going to be in Chelsea, facing to the south here. That is the updraft of the ongoing storms that are moving across southeast Michigan this afternoon. That's a beautiful, beautiful shot there. Leave it right here on the Storm Guard camera as this line moves over the camera.
Bobby with the $2 super chat. What do you call an alligator in a vest? An investigator. Thank you for the $2 super chat and the little joke to keep things light this afternoon while severe weather is ongoing across the state. We'll take the radar back, checking on our storms across the area. Severe thunderstorm warning for Alcona County has been dropped. This storm is now moving, or has fallen below severe limits and or moving off onto Lake Huron. Still some strong storms out there. We'll keep an eye on those. Severe thunderstorm warning for Monroe County also has been dropped. Remaining in effect, though, for Oakland County, far eastern Washtenaw, and far western Wayne. Not sure if the DTX radar or the airport radar is going to do better at this level.
Probably DTX.
Gotcha. That's what I'm on. Taking a big zoomed out picture here, you can see all the warnings that are flashing on and off. Cells all up and down pretty much east of 127 and I-75 this afternoon. They'll continue to make kind of a lined shape all the way along the state. However, anywhere to the west of these lines, not as likely to see severe weather the rest of the day. It's a little bit of an earlier start. We'll keep an eye on it obviously later this afternoon, but it looks like this is an earlier start today. And again, these storms will continue off into the Thumb, off onto Lake Huron, and eventually into Ontario.
We're going to be shocked here to get some gusty winds on Storm Guard camera. Go ahead and take that back if you don't mind, Joel. On radar here, as this line progresses out of the radar into Arbor Hills, Orion Township, and Oxford Township, the winds are increasing. I got pockets on radar here of 45-ish miles per hour, moving close to the camera here. So we'll see how gusty the winds get as this line passes over. You can see the whale's mouth like structure there. Whale's mouth is underneath the shelf cloud, and that usually indicates turbulent skies and sometimes gusty winds. So keep an eye on those trees there on the bottom right of your screen as this passes over. I believe we're gonna get pretty gusty here on in Lake Orion here. This is facing south and west.
If you know anyone that is being affected in the southeast portion of the state today, feel free to share this with them. Otherwise, if you don't know anyone, again, a like will go a long ways as well. Push us out to your fellow Michiganders who are also living in this area. Same thing goes for those living in northeast lower today. A short window of time for an isolated tornado threat, as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds, perhaps some isolated hail as well. Again, like and show you care, like and share.
Would be shocked if they slap a warning or a statement on this in northern Oakland County as this line progresses. The latest scan increases velocity once again.
It is interesting that they did trim that, so that warning has been trimmed further to the south. At least issue like a special weather statement or something.
Something, yeah. We'll see how gusty these winds are. I think we're about 3 minutes away, perhaps less than that, from being impacted by the winds. So far, it looks to be about 10 or 15 miles an hour there. Maybe 20. This is Storm Guard camera in Lake Orion facing southwest as this line of storms progresses to the east. Pass over the camera here momentarily. This is going to be in the east central part of Oakland County. and this storm is heading up toward Oxford Township, Leonard, Addison Township, Lakeville, Oakland Charter Township, and Lake Orion.
Look at Mike's cam. He's directly underneath it as well.
Yeah, he is. He's down there in looks like Wayne County, in the Canton area. He's gonna be, yeah, just south of Canton.
Also have a nice view from Tyler as well. Nice updraft there. And Tyler is up in Oakland County. He is near Clarkston right now. So he is either on US 24 or I-75. Looks like maybe US 24.
We have several cells popping up over by the Tri-City areas. That's going to be ones to watch here. That's also in the risk for a tornado today, as the wind shear up there is a little bit more. But the later we get into the afternoon hours, the less wind shear we're going to have to work with. So these storms have a very short window where the best ingredients kind of overlap for rotation. So we're going to lose our window here it's still pretty early though, Joel, honestly. It feels like it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's actually only 1 o'clock. We started this early, so
yeah.
We'll have to see how these play out. We have numerous cells popping up across the Midland, Bay City, Saginaw region. Those are going to move off to the east here as well. Looks like on the Lake Orion camera, wind gusts around 30 to 40 are translating down to the surface, so it is pretty gusty. It definitely doesn't look severe in nature, but we'll see how it plays out.
Scrolling at the bottom of your screen are all of the alerts in the state of Michigan. So you'll see there's special weather statements out there and severe thunderstorm warnings. And as always, the highest active alert will be displayed on the top bar as we now roll into the 1 o'clock time frame. If it is not 1 o'clock where you are, then you might be watching on a little bit of a delay. Again, Facebook, YouTube is about a 30-second delay at most, so as long as you're watching within 30 seconds, you should be good. Otherwise, feel free to refresh the stream and get all caught up. Gonna have Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma alongside Ryan. We have been live now for about 54-ish minutes, covering severe weather across the state. Started in southeast Michigan. We've had one severe storm up in the Alcona County region, and that storm has now moved offshore from Harrisville. That had 60-mile-per-hour winds, tornado possible. These storms down here in southeast Michigan only have a damaging wind risk, 60-mile-per-hour winds. And I also saw there's a couple reports of some hail coming in from some of our viewers earlier, I think like 10 or 15 minutes ago. So again, if you do have some hail reports you want to send in, feel free to do so. Best way to do that is send it in our Michigan Weather Reports community page over on Facebook.
I have a view here in the Dearborn camera very soon as this line progresses towards Dearborn. I'll cycle through the cameras here. What a beautiful shot there in the Meyerstone Ranch camera. Oh yeah. That is gorgeous. I'm going to crop that real quick.
I think in order today, it goes wind, tornadoes, and hail. So its primary threat is wind, secondary threat, tornadoes, tertiary threat being hail. Although, if you do have isolated cells, especially up there in northern Michigan, especially with the better lapse rates up there along the shoreline of Lake Huron, we could get some larger hail. And these supercells always have that all hazards threat to them. Looks like it might be trying to water spout offshore Harrisville. Rotation's picked back up just a little bit on that, but no threat to land. As well as offshore Osneek. Storm near West Branch has not really got its act together. Good sign there. Just a strong thunderstorm at the current time with a lot of heavy rain falling. Something to keep in mind today, as always, is the flash flooding that could be possible with these storms. They are slow moving, and if they train over the same location, especially with a north-northeast motion to them, then we could see some isolated rainfall reports of maybe 2 inches in maybe 90-minute time frame, maybe even 60-minute time frame, depending on how heavy it's falling. Severe is expected to be done by around 9 and 10 o'clock tonight. Could be earlier if there's no development back off to the west. Open my window a little bit so I can see out there. Severe thunderstorm warnings remain in effect for Oakland and Wayne. Portions of the counties as well, not the entirety. If I go down to the DTX radar, you can see exactly where these warnings are in effect. Here's Wayne County in its entirety. The orange box is just really in its northwest corner. Oakland County is in the southwest corner, not including South Line, but it does include Farmington Hills, Novi, Wixom, and close to Kego Harbor. It does include Union Lake, Orchard Lake Village as well. We do have a little bit of a pocket of gusty winds moving into West Acres and Union Lake right now. Looks suspicious at first because it looks like an inflow region, but I do believe that, yeah, the next scan kind of gets rid of it. So West Acres, if you just had some gusty winds roll through, that is because of this little green pocket you see on radar right here, heading towards Union Lake. Okay, good gust front out in front of the storms right now. Not severe at the current time, unless these pixels are accurate, in which case there are some very, very tiny pixels of 60-mile-per-hour winds. I believe that's got to be ground clutter at the current time, because the majority of these pixels are like 45 miles per hour and less.
Yeah, the Lake Orion camera had about 30 to 40 to estimate.
Yeah.
But go ahead and check out the airport radar down by Romulus. Or that too. You can go down to that camera, or not camera, that storm in Romulus, which is up by Detroit, that area right there.
Plymouth?
No, down further by Wayne, that area. I have a pocket of 60-mile-per-hour winds on base velocity there.
Do you think you could share your radar?
Yeah, I can do that.
I got 52.
Live.
Good.
Back here is where I was talking about. It just updated.
It didn't
before you
update
took me. So I had 58.16 there, and then just updated. It's still pretty strong though, 50 miles per hour as it moves up toward Inkster, between Wayne, Inkster, and Sunnyside neighborhoods. So that's gonna be moving up toward our Dearborn camera here in about 5-10 minutes.
You also have.
But that is. I cannot get over the madness that's being displayed on Chelsea cam. I really cannot. That is just gorgeous.
That's beautiful.
I bet I could probably go outside and see that here in my house.
We also have that region of gusty winds in Plymouth right now, off the airport radar, just to the north of Plymouth, heading towards Northville a little bit. In the downburst fashion, the winds are spreading out in all directions from the thunderstorm. Wind gusts here. Approximately 50 miles per hour at about 350 feet off the ground. So it's up there a little bit. And we do have a new warning coming in. It's a big one. If anyone is downtown, if anyone's downtown Detroit, feel free to grab some shots as it rolls in. Go ahead, Ryan.
I was going to say, new warning incoming from Macomb, Oakland, and Wayne until 2:30 p.m.
I saw that because it was a big one. Big, yeah, there it is. There's your new warning, this big orange box here. Multiple region of damaging winds. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect, or is now in effect for northeastern Wayne, southeastern Oakland, southern Macomb until 2:30. At 1:06, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from West Bloomfield to Livonia to Romulus, moving east at 25 miles per hour, 6-mile-per-hour wind gusts. The main hazard. These severe thunderstorms will be near Livonia, Southfield, Taylor, Pontiac, Romulus, Dearborn. Here in the next 2 minutes. Birmingham, Greenfield Village, 1:15. Troy, Royal Oak, around 1:20. The Detroit Zoo at 1:30. Detroit and Sterling Heights itself around 1:35. Downtown Detroit and Warren around 1:40. Belle Isle, 1:50. Clinton Township around 1:55. Torrential rainfall also occurring with this severe thunderstorm, so flash flooding could be a possibility if these storms do slow down and train over the same area. Ow. Just banged my knee into the... Hopefully nobody heard that.
Oh, I heard that.
It was wham. Again, gusty winds appear to be the strongest right now in the Plymouth region. Again, those are in extreme northwest Wayne County, heading towards Livonia. We also have this just big squall of damaging winds, likely in the Inkster and Taylor area. If not damaging, they're still very strong, about 40 to 50 miles per hour. We'll go ahead and take a quick view up north since I haven't done so in a couple minutes, just to see if there's anything worth mentioning. Looks like the strongest of storms. Yeah, all up near the vicinity of the low. So the further north you get, the more rotation there is on these storms. So probably a good chance of some water spouts, honestly. As mentioned previously, there's duo storms that are rotating right now. Offshore of Osneek and Harrisville. So if you live in these areas, look to your east. You might see some water spouts developing soon. We have a couple weakly rotating cells up here in Hawks, in Presque Isle County, as well as near Posen, crossing the county line from Alpena into Presque Isle County as well. It's pretty much the the M65 corridor there. Otherwise, these storms right now not concerning at the current time. Still watching the storm in Ogemaw County heading towards Hale, but also still below severe limits. All severe storms right now remain in southeast Michigan. Oh, we lost Ryan. Just realized that. Also, shout out to Marky Mark over here on YouTube, $5 super chat. Whoever sent out gifted memberships yesterday, I was lucky to receive one and wanted to say thank you if you're watching. So, whoever did send out gifted memberships yesterday, Marky Mark would like to thank you. And thank you, Mark, for supporting our channel here at MSC. Again, super chats are always optional. They go right back into helping pay for the software, all of our studio operations here at MSC, so that we can go live during all Michigan severe weather events. So thank you guys. A lot of these cells right now just all showing that classic elongated supercell shape to them. Kind of looking for like a little bit of a kidney bean slash backward C type shape, or forward C, I guess, across the region. Most notably here, offshore of Osneek. We'll go back down to the central Michigan region. A couple cells popping up in Bay County, as well as heading in towards Aranac County. A couple cells across the Thumb region, not severe at the current time. All these cells in central Michigan and eastern Thumb Michigan, not severe, but they could become strong as the day continues on. Again, it's only 1:12 in the afternoon, so our peak heating hours are still on the way. We could see more cells develop back off to the west. We'll keep an eye on it. Again, the cold front right now, if I had to imagine, let's go up to the UP, and there it is. That's the cold front right there. We could see, honestly, additional storms later tonight along that cold front extended down into West Michigan. However, because it's going to be moving through probably very late this evening, it'll end up being a very low-end threat. It would probably just be the UP threat until you get to sunset, and as those storms cross the lake, they will fizzle out. Kind of similar to what we saw last night, Ryan, with those storms that moved in from Wisconsin and the Chicago region.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I want to take attention back up to the West Detroit metro area between Dearborn, Inkster, and Livonia areas. Got some really gusty winds here moving into the West Detroit metro area. In fact, we have a pocket on radar here of 60-mile-per-hour winds heading right for our Dearborn camera, which is live on your screen. This is facing northwest. The gusty winds are moving from the left side of your screen, probably the next 5 or 10 minutes. So, but aside from that area up here in 275 and Livonia area, got some 50-mile-per-hour winds or so moving up toward Farmington Hills, Farmington, Southfield, as well as Southfield, Redford areas. Also, looking at DTE outage map, we have several outages coming in now from this area in back near Canton moving forward. So these wind gusts are likely reaching the ground through the West Detroit metro area. Really gusty.
Yeah, Westland, Livonia up next for these, as well as Inkster, Dearborn Heights. We already mentioned these locations, but still ongoing in this region. Very, very gusty winds. There you go. If you go switch it over to our normal base velocity here, all of these pockets where you see these reds turns to yellows, that's close to 60 miles per hour wind, if not at 60 mile per hour wind. So there's a bunch of different pockets.
Hey, Ryan, you know?
What's Mike saying?
About to answer him here. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, what's up? Hey, I'm checking out where that microburst was in Ypsilanti. Found a little bit of damage. Michigan and First Ave. Might have some stuff on the stream in a little bit.
Mike is in Ypsilanti reporting minor damage from that earlier microburst that we saw. He's at US 12 and First Avenue. Minor tree damage, it sounds like, from that microburst.
I see a comment here saying the storm hasn't even hit yet and it's getting windy. That'll happen on days like today. We have an outflow boundary away from the storm. Again, the further the outflow boundary can exist, or the longer that outflow boundary exists, the further away from the storm it usually gets until that storm just eventually fizzles out. Wow, I just realized that downburst is pretty potent there, just in and south of Inkster. A couple scans ago, you can see how that really peaked. You see the reds here on your screen, and then boom, little pocket of yellows pops up and spreads out in all directions, and it spreads out to the southwest as well. As you can see, it turns to greens. That's going towards the radar site, which is this airport down here near Oakville.
Yeah, those winds are heading right for Dearborn. So if you're in Dearborn, even downtown Detroit, Dearborn Heights, Hamtramck, Highland Park, Oak Park, Ferndale, Royal Oaks, Southfield, Warren, and St. Clair Shores areas, this storm is heading your direction. We're still probably a few minutes away from impact at the Dearborn camera here, so I'll let you know when to take it.
Okay. So again, this is going to be hitting, it's already hitting, but it's going to be continuing to hit very populated areas of southeastern Michigan. So if you know anyone in the area, feel free to share the stream. Feel free to like the stream. Pass along the word if you have a buddy system in place. Dearborn, Detroit, Hamtramck, Warren, Birmingham, all these areas in the path of perhaps 60 mile per hour winds. Severe thunderstorm warning obviously in effect. If you have apps on your phone to tell you that, you'd already be alerted. However, again, not everyone has apps on your phone. So make sure if you know someone that is downtown Detroit right now, let them know. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect. The Tigers game, which was scheduled to start at 1:10, has been officially delayed until these storms have passed, so people there at the ballpark will likely be taking shelter. Anyone downtown Detroit as well right now enjoying the festivities, maybe going out, eating outside, you name it, let them know. It's going to get rainy and windy very, very quickly here within the next half hour. Because, again, as these storms move off to the northeast, around 25 miles per hour. So it's going to kind of stay. It's going to rain and then stay over the same area for, at least probably 15 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes. It also would result in perhaps a little bit of brief flooding. Cells continue across northeast Michigan. Nothing that I'm seeing right now that really blows my mind, which is good. Keep it that way. Perhaps some gusty winds near Posen, but that's really on the backside of the storm. Could be side lobing, which means just kind of there existing on the backside. The hailstorms would be in the most favorable environment as well as Mikado, but again, I think there's just too many cells around it right now, which is a good thing. Prevents these severe storms from happening. Makes them less strong in their own sense. Cells also starting to fire up, as mentioned, in Bay County. Also all the way down towards Lansing now through Shiawassee County. Cell now moving into the Kingston region. Already passed over the Kingston region, excuse me. Heading towards Snover and the M19 corridor. Eventually heading towards Deckerville and Minden City. Here's that new special weather statement that came in for wind gusts of 50 to 55. This is portions of Lapeer, St. Clair, Macomb, and Oakland counties for this strong storm is entering Elmont and Romeo at the current time. I'm going to go ahead and take the lost in the rain here. The radar from Detroit. Pontiac.
It is getting pretty windy in Dearborn, just FYI.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's the gust front. The gust front right now is this little line right here. Kind of see how it kind of fades out in front of the storm a little bit as well. So it's in Utica, up towards Romeo. Again, so a little bit further ahead than the rain. So it's going to get windy before it gets rainy today with this line, this outflow boundary, as we call it, moving through portions of Macomb and Oakland County. Take your cam back there.
Yeah, it's about to be impacted. The edge of the rain moving in here. On radar, it says that actually, latest scan, Joel, just to the south and west of the radar, or the camera here, 62.64 miles per hour showing up as of 1:18, so 2 minutes ago. That was directly over Outer Drive and Rotunda Drive. That's going to be moving very close to the camera. Latest scan actually increased that now. A good pocket of 60 mile per hour winds. Going to be passing Southfield Freeway, Service Drive just south of M39. Or sorry, south of US 12, about to cross M39 here. Just Southfield Freeway.
And we have that
right for the camera.
Yeah, we have that radar in the bottom left corner right now. That is the pocket we're watching. That is really starting to exhibit stronger winds. This is going to be this is heading right at the camera.
This is going to be insane. If these winds are mixing to the ground, it's going to be pretty insane here. In fact, on your screen currently, gusts are probably close to 40, 45 at this point. Here comes the rain. I would have to imagine there's a chance we may lose the camera here with power outages.
That's the main pocket right now. You also have gusty winds down towards Lincoln Park and Allen Park, heading towards Ecorse, River Rouge, and Melvindale. So this whole line, oh my goodness, look at the wind.
Yep, here it comes.
The wind and the rain, I should say.
This is why you should be inside and away from windows. Flying debris from winds, or tornadoes for that matter. In this case, winds. Wow. You don't want to be outside caught in this, for sure. Yeah. Latest scan here, the strongest winds are still to come. It appears that the pocket is going to be moving right over the camera in about a minute.
Gusty winds also occurring up towards Redford, Clarenceville, Southfield, into southeastern Oakland County, where that severe thunderstorm warning is still in effect as well. Just going to sit and watch for a moment as these winds roll in. Some big raindrops in there too. This is Dearborn live, looking to the northwest-ish. Well, northwest, I think.
Yeah, northwest here.
So
right on US 12.
You can see it firsthand. If you guys live in Wayne County, mainly heading towards downtown Detroit. So hopefully turn your inactive mindset into a reactive mindset. That's what we want to do here at MSC. Provide you these live shots so you know what's actually coming. In this case, very, very strong gusty winds that could bring down a couple tree limbs and power lines. So severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for portions of Wayne, Oakland, Macomb until 2:30 p.m. Moving east at 25 miles per hour. I'm now getting a couple pixels here just behind the camera of 65 to 68 miles per hour possible at 400 feet above the ground. So easily 60 miles per hour, likely ongoing here in the vicinity of the camera. We might see it really start to pick up here in about the next couple seconds. In fact, there we go. It's getting tossed. Oh,
Flash.
power flash and the gas station's without power.
And there we go.
There we go. There goes the power across the street.
We may lose the camera.
Yep. That's crazy. You saw that power flash right in the center of the screen there.
It's crazy.
Looks like the gas station has generator back up. Lights are back on. Again, this is live from Dearborn. Saw a power flash on cam. I'm guessing, Ryan, you're probably going to get that clip there real quick.
Already on it. Already on it.
So that clip will be played back on our Facebook page here in a couple minutes. Once it gets that going. These are live winds of 60 miles per hour, maybe even higher, heading right through Dearborn as we speak. Those went, wow.
There, wow. That is insane.
And if you are living off to the east of Dearborn, so downtown Detroit, this is heading for you guys right now. These are live 60 mile per hour winds, at least on camera. Heading right down I-94 into downtown Detroit. Also some pockets down near Melvindale as well. Those will be following I-75 into Detroit. So this entire region of central Wayne County is likely experiencing 50, 60, maybe even 70 mile per hour winds in some isolated pockets. If you have damage coming in, when it's safe to do so, obviously you can send it in to us. Our Michigan Weather Reports page is available on Facebook. It's a community page. You can also send it in to our messenger. Alternatively, we do have a Discord server, discord.gg/Michigan Storm Chasers. There's a channel in the Discord server that you can submit your damage reports in. So multiple different ways. Alternatively, obviously, you can send them in our comments section on one of our posts. Do not put them in the live stream posts that we're currently streaming to you guys on. If you're watching on Facebook, we won't be able to see them in here in chat. But again, because these storms are moving at 25 miles per hour, these sustained 60 mile per hour winds are going to be continuing like this until the storm passes completely through, which is going to take probably a good 5 to 10 minutes as it continues to gust very, very strongly here. saw someone run out of the building down there and run right back in. I don't know if you saw that.
It's crazy. I'm working on getting the video up here, so give me a second.
Okay. So I'm going to put the camera back in the bottom left corner. Here's your gusty winds. Dearborn is right here. It's that little city. It's kind of hard to see, but that is where the gusty winds are. We're looking at velocity radar, which anywhere in the oranges and bright yellows is where your gusty winds are. So you have a couple pockets down here in River Rouge, Melvindale, heading up I-75 into downtown. And we have this big pocket that we're watching on cam right now live, courtesy of our Dearborn cam, in Dearborn, moving off to the northeast and east into downtown Detroit. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect. Southeastern Oakland, southern Macomb, and most of Wayne County on the northeast side. If you're in western Wayne, you guys are good. We do have damage report. Mike sent it in. This is earlier. Secondary wire down and pole damage from 8-inch branch coming down in Park at Congress and Oakwood Road. So he is still back there in Ypsi. Got any updates on your end there? You're still working on the
video. Be up here momentarily.
Okay. So here's radar full, real quick. In this entire batch, anywhere where you see these brighter yellows and oranges right now, that is the damaging winds, confirmed 60-mile-per-hour winds. You can see it on camera ourselves with our own 2 eyes. This is heading right into downtown Detroit within the next 5 to 10 minutes. If you are outside in downtown Detroit, you need to be taking shelter inside, away from these 60-mile-per-hour winds. You don't want loose objects flying around and hitting you there. New special weather statement coming in just a moment here from Montmorency, Alcona, Alpena, and Oscoda counties. We'll go up to that in about a minute here once that loads in. Go ahead and take this radar back. Again, if you are at the Tigers game right now, you need to be taking shelter in the concourse. Again, the game has been delayed for this reason. Again, 60-mile-per-hour winds rolling right into downtown, and those pixels continue to expand as they get closer. Yeah, we have a couple pixels here on the back end of things that are showing 60 to 65 still. This pocket primarily right along the river, 65 miles per hour. This is, again, hanging right into downtown Detroit, pretty much smack dab, Hamtramck as well. Eventually be heading towards Grosse Pointe Park, Grosse Pointe Farms in the minutes to come.
Video's up. All platforms, including TikTok. So feel free to go watch it.
Again, you're doing yourself a good favor by just taking shelter into your room. You're at a good service, as you know, if you know where to take shelter in instances where damaging winds are moving into your neck of the woods. Again, any interior room, if you do not have a basement you can go to, an interior room on the lowest floor is the best bet. If you do not have any interior rooms, if you're in a mobile home, where it's just all just exterior walls, the bathroom with a bathtub is going to be your best option as well. Again, anywhere you just want to be away from any walls that have like trees that could fall into them. As long as you're away from those walls, then you should be good. And as always, make sure you're protecting your head. Blunt force trauma is a huge concern when it comes to severe weather events. So always protect your head with a pillow, helmet. Your hands are even better than nothing. So keep that in mind. You're doing yourself a good favor. Again, damaging winds moving into downtown Detroit as we speak right now, following right up I-94 and I-75, hitting downtown Detroit within the next 5 minutes. See all those pictures. How's the Dearborn cam looking? Oh, you went to Burton.
Went to Burton. There's my Madison Burton camera there. Dearborn was clearing up there on the backside of that storm. Got some rainfall in there, but that is about it. It appears that power is out still. Be right back. I'm gonna go see if I have a Madison outside my house.
All good. If you know anyone in downtown Detroit, Grosse Pointe Park, eventually heading towards... I will also mention that there are some gusty winds up here near Birmingham, off to the east of Birmingham, heading towards Sterling Heights and Utica. Maybe not as strong as downtown Detroit and Hamtramck, but again, these are all gusty winds, all within this orange box. The orange box on your screen is your severe thunderstorm warning, and that is in effect for southern Macomb County and Wayne County here in downtown Detroit. New special weather statements coming in. I'm going to go back up there and check those real quick because we did have one come in for Oscoda, and there it is.
Joel,
Yes.
take my video phone cam, please.
Okay. I will
I'm about to load this in. I have beautiful Mamanus.
do that in just a second. But special weather statement for rural portions of Montmorency, extreme southwest Alpena, and northern Oscoda counties. This is for 40-mile-per-hour winds. This will impact locations such as Comins, Fletcher Pond, Lockwood Lake, Loud Township, and Mitchell Township. It's that box there. We also have Presque Isle with special weather statement. I'm assuming probably for Millersburg, Rogers City, coming in just this moment as well. Yeah.
Take me if you can.
Yep.
You still hear me out here?
Yep. I have your phone cam on. It's not loading right now.
Refresh it then.
I already did. Oh. Maybe.
Still nothing?
Nothing. No dice.
Hold on. Hold on. Try now.
There we go. That's beautiful. Holy cow.
All good?
Yep. That looks awesome, man.
Say what?
I just said it looks awesome, man.
All right. Picture time. I'll be right back in just a second.
We'll go back down to Detroit. Again, Ryan is behind the storm in Lenawee County. Mattis usually shows itself on the backside of the storms. So again, it's warm air kind of trying to sink down. We're going to go ahead and go to the velocity. Here's your velocity product right now. The gustiest of winds in Windsor, right going down the river actually right now, as well as probably getting sucked into the buildings around downtown Detroit and Hamtramck. Again, these winds, these pixels right here you see on your screen are winds of perhaps 70 miles per hour in Windsor. Again, 71.6 miles per hour at 590 feet off the ground. So it's a little bit up in the air. We're hoping that it's not completely mixed into the ground, but it is a possibility that we have upwards of 70 mile per hour winds ongoing in downtown Detroit. Again, if you're in downtown Detroit, know anybody in downtown Detroit, please let them know. These are very strong, damaging winds moving into the area. No tornado threat, but again, damaging winds are just as dangerous as a tornado would be. Again, winds 60 of 70 miles per hour would be the equivalent of an EF0 tornado. So you're doing yourself a great favor as long as you're taking shelter in an interior room. Lowest floor of the building, a basement's obviously going to be your best option. If not, interior room on the lowest floor. If you have an upstairs apartment, maybe make friends with your downstairs neighbor. Tell them, hey, we got severe weather coming. Can I come inside for a little bit, hang out till the storm goes past? 9 out of 10 times, if you have friendly neighbors, they'll let you come in. It's a good idea, especially with a storm like this. And again, make sure you're sheltering inside, away from any trees that could fall onto your exterior walls. That is the most likely threat here today as these storms move down towards Grosse Pointe Park and Grosse Pointe Farms. And again, this storm is directly, this pocket of wind is right over Windsor and Detroit right now, right on the border, pretty much going right down the river right now. If you look on the river, it's probably the strongest going right down the river. And these storms are moving to the northeast at about 25 miles per hour, so it's going really slow. Also looking at our base reflectivity radar here, all the reds, oranges, and yellows on radar is all heavy rain, even some pinks in Windsor. Also some pinks across the border here on the Detroit side. That is all going to be very, very heavy rain, maybe some light hail mixing in, but at this current time I believe it's probably just all heavy rain. The hail threat's very minimal today. Obviously the damaging wind threat is the highest. So if you live in Detroit, Hamtramck, again, still be taking shelter. The storm is slowly moving in and through as we speak. The warning, by the way, has been trimmed. You can see the orange box used to be this big, and now it's that big. So Pontiac, Farmington Hills, Livonia, Taylor, all have been removed, as well as Redford, Dearborn Heights, Inkster, Franklin, and Birmingham, all been removed from that severe thunderstorm warning box. Again, that severe thunderstorm warning box is in orange. If you know you live in this orange box, respect the polygon and make sure you're in shelter until these storms do pass. Latest scan still continues 60 to 70 mile per hour winds right along the riverfront in downtown Detroit. Also some gusty winds of 50 to 60 inland towards Hamtramck and Highland Park. And these are heading off towards Grosse Pointe Park, Grosse Pointe Farms. Again, if you have any damage, we are looking for damage reports. Feel free to throw them in our inbox. The best way, though, to send them in is going to be through our community page on our Facebook page. Primarily, if you're not following us on Facebook, we have about 444,000 you guys that follow us on Facebook now. Feel free to follow us there, Michigan Storm Chasers. We do have a community page called Michigan Weather Reports. Any damage, feel free to send it in there for us. When you are sending in damage, make sure you put a time and a location. Those are the two most important things, and as necessary, a measurement as well. So if you're measuring hail, make sure to use like a ruler or some sort of like coin. Hail, again, not the main threat today, but it is a threat nonetheless. Feel free to measure it. You can measure tree branches as well if you want to do the diameter of the tree limb that falls. If it's a whole tree, obviously you're not going to be able to measure it, but take pictures of the trees if they fall, and only when it's safe to do so. Again, your safety is number one priority right now if you're still underneath these gusty winds, especially in Detroit, Grosse Pointe Park, pretty much all of eastern Wayne County. Please be taking shelter until these storms will pass. The damage will still be there once the storms are over with. So again, safety, number one priority. Once it's done, once it is safe to do so, feel free to take some photos and send them in. I love respect the polygon. Yeah, it's taken from a meteorologist in Alabama Georgia. Is it Georgia or Alabama? Alabama? Yeah.
Alabama.
Gotcha. In Alabama, his name is James Spann, and he does that all the time because they have a lot of severe weather down there, especially in the spring and winter time. That's his slogan. He uses it all the time. If you are in one of these severe thunderstorm warning boxes, respect the polygon. Don't disrespect the polygon, I guess you could say. Make sure you're taking shelter until that polygon expires for your neck of the woods. And we want to make sure you guys are safe as possible, so taking all the necessary precautions are going to be the best way to stay safe, and that does include getting into that interior room on the lowest floor of the building. Again, as mentioned, I'll mention it again for the new people that are tuning in. If you don't have any interior rooms, usually there is a closet that's an interior room. That's the best bet. Otherwise, if it's just completely exterior rooms, the bathroom, if you have a bathtub in your bathroom, that's the best place because it acts as an extra set of walls. It's porcelain, but it still is an extra set of walls. Puts it between you and the outdoors, and on top of that, you can cover up yourself with like a mattress or a big heaping of blankets or even some pillows as well. Something that's soft that can protect you. So that way you're covered on all sides. It's kind of like a little coffin that you can kind of, lay in and protect yourself. So you guys will be okay. We'll get through this. Again, it's 60-mile-per-hour winds, maybe as high as 70, but as long as you're taking those necessary precautions, you guys are good. Take a nice deep breath. We'll get through it. Gustiest of winds right now are in downtown Detroit and Hamtramck. We also have a pocket of winds now showing up here, even more intense, over 60 miles per hour in the 14-mile road and Mound Road regions, just south of Sterling Heights and north of Warren. So that is now in Macomb County. And those will head off to the northeast, eventually towards Katy and Fraser, which Fraser was the most recent tornado we've had in Michigan. Now, I'm not saying there's tornadoes today for this portion of state. I'm just mentioning it as a fact. Fraser was the most recent city to get a tornado. And we're at 29 so far this year in Michigan, depending on how today plays out, especially up north here in northeast lower, which I'll go ahead and check on real quick. Some gusty winds could be occurring now as I head towards Rogers City. Maybe some weak rotation starting to pick up as well. So if you're in Rogers City, I'll be on alert for some gusty winds. Nevertheless, winds of 40 miles per hour possible here as these storms move off to the northeast at 35 miles per hour. Special weather statement also remains in effect heading towards Hillman. This is also moving at 35 off to the northeast with wind gusts of 40. Not too menacing looking at the current time. We'll keep an eye on it. Some gusty winds perhaps also near Mikado. Once again, heading towards Harrisville and Lost Lake Woods. Also, a bunch of cells popping up in the Tri-Cities region, continuing to pop up. The cell that popped up near Kingston is now all the way over here towards Minden City now. That looks pretty strong. Could see a statement on that one soon. Keep an eye on it. We'll check the bottom bar. All the alerts that do come in will always pop up on that bottom bar you see on the screen. And as always, the highest active alert will always show on the top bar. So all the alerts scrolling on the bottom for each county. So you can see severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for portions of Macomb, Oakland, and Wayne down there until 2:30 p.m. So you got another 45 minutes at the most. I would imagine it might get canceled sooner. It is moving pretty slow, but again, it's in effect till 2:30 just in case. Did I call it? No, that was a different cell. We do have a new special alert statement just popping up right now for Sanilac and St. Clair. I'm going to assume it's for this storm in K-Pac. If you switch it over to velocity, you can see right on the front of your screen. Oops, wrong one. There we go. So I dual box it here. Left side is the intensity of rain. Right side is the intensity of wind. And you can see there's more of those orange and yellow pixels starting to show up here on the front edge of that storm. Likely downbursting out, so straight line winds. Also probably a really good shelf cloud, as Ryan mentioned earlier in the stream here, moving through portions of St. Clair County. So if you could shelf cloud view before the storms get there, well, we love to see it. It's fair weather, so if you want to send it in the Michigan Weather Reports chat, you can. However, again, we're going to try and keep that to damage reports for the time being. If you want to throw your shelf cloud pictures in our other group, it is called Michigan Storm Community. That way we can kind of get the damage reports separated from the cool cloud photos at the current time. If not, obviously you can throw them in Michigan Weather Reports as well, but we do highly recommend putting any damage reports in Michigan Weather Reports. So there is the pocket of winds. I'm going to have to just take your cam real quick, Ryan, so I can reload the radar. If it even comes in. There it is.
Yeah, I'm just watching the Harbor Beach camera here. Off in the distance, there's a storm about 25 miles away to the north there. So,
yeah. Yep, and it's just as expected here. This front line is now north of 69, so it's heading into the region of M19, pretty much south of the county line. So Yale down towards Emmett. And again, the gusty winds are right here. I'll circle them. Oh, jeez. I'll circle them on the screen here. I just zoomed all the way into the last pixel. Here's the gusty wind pocket near K-Pac. And again, that's moving off to the northeast at around 30 miles per hour. Wind gusts of 50 to 55. So this is basically severe as well. Locations impacted by this new special weather statement include Crosswell, Yale, Lexington, Lakeport, Emmett, Brockway, Blaine, North Street, Birch Beach, Amador, Goodell's, Avoca, Jetto, Lexington Heights, Fargo, Roseburg, and Ruby. The new special alert statement shown in tan. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for portions of Macomb and Wayne, and even portions of Oakland as well, although the storm is starting to leave and head primarily into Macomb at the current time. We're going to hope that these winds are starting to gust out a little bit, become less in nature.
Latest power outage update, we're at 12,000 people across the state without power from these storms. Highest affected counties are Lenawee, Shiawassee, Saginaw, Iosco, Sheboygan, and Alpena counties, as well as Berry County. For some reason, Berry has about 500 people out. I would have to assume that's probably from something else besides storms. I don't believe we had anything over there today, to my knowledge.
Yeah. Take your Guardian Technologies headquarters cam there real quick. Check on them at Mattis. While we're checking on the Mattis real quick, couple super chats to shout out real quick just to get caught up. We have Earl with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Earl, saying thank you for your coverage. With these storms that fired up on the east side of the state, does that mean more west, like Battle Creek, is not going to get anything today? There's a low chance for Battle Creek, but at the current time, our thoughts are this is probably going to stay to the east. So Battle Creek, more unlikely than likely to see any sort of storms today there. Again, over the last 48 hours, the models continue to shift it from the center of the state over to the east central, and now it's over into the east side. So again, that's what happens when models refine themselves over time. You can see shifts, and we have seen this system shift further to the east, again, over the last 48 hours. So Battle Creek, primarily going to be good today. We'll keep an eye on any further development later this afternoon, but the current time looks like it's going to stay to the east of US 23, maybe even east of 127. Julianne Sarah back for month number 12 here as a one-year member now. Crazy weather day. As always, thank you for being on top of it. Joel and Ryan, everybody stay safe, no problem. And thank you for tuning in, for your support for a year. It's a crazy weather day out there. We got you guys covered from beginning to end. We'll stay live until this severe weather does leave the state. That is our motto here at MSC if you're new. So feel free to follow along if you are a Michigander, any Michigander. We cover all 83 counties in the state, and we have not missed a severe warning since the end of 2023, which we really haven't missed any at all.
Yeah, we are dedicated here. We don't miss a beat, ever.
Yep. So once that first warning's issued on a severe weather day, we'll start the live stream, and then we'll stay live until the severe weather is done. And sometimes, in some cases, we'll stay live after severe weather goes through, but if storms are still existing in the state, you see that 5 out of 10 times in our live streams. If there's still strong storms ongoing in the state, we'll just stay live. That way it's easier to kind of maintain our coverage for you guys, and you don't have to relocate to another news stream once we cut the live and come back in. Outflow boundary, by the way, you can see is on Lake St. Clair right now, and it is very far out in front of the storm. So if you are out in front of these storms by maybe even as much as 5 miles, maybe even 10, probably like 5, you could be getting gusty winds probably 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes before the rain even arrives. And also likely a good shelf cloud opportunity out there for those who are in ahead of these storms. Another $4.99 super chat from Kimberly. No text with that. Thank you, Kimberly. Also, Laura saying thank you to the guys and mods, becoming a member for 9 months. No problem, Laura. We have Jacqueline B with a comment, $20 super chat. So much appreciation keeping us safe. Thank you. No problem. Again, we will keep you covered here until the severe weather leaves the state, and thank you all for your support. If you guys have a dying question you want to answer or ask as well, we'll answer it here on YouTube. Feel free to drop a super chat. It's optional to do. Otherwise, we will continue to cover any storms that look strong to severe. That is our top priority at the current time, which includes Rogers City, where, Ryan, it does look like there is a nice batch of gusty winds rolling right down M68 into Rogers City at the current time.
So keeping a close eye near the, is it Twinning or Twining area? Twining, I believe it is, up by Turner. Keep an eye on that area as well. Looks like there's some broad rotation show up on radar. So these storms, I mean, up here in northeastern, we've had a few areas and pockets of some weak rotation, perhaps some stronger winds, but nothing too crazy up here just yet. Again, this is the area where we have better wind shear, so we also could be looking at a brief tornado threat up in this vicinity. But again, so far today, things have been pretty calm up there.
Yeah. We could see a little bit of perhaps weak rotation on this. Yeah, you're right. Twinning and Turner. I was trying to figure out what that was for a second, but that I was looking at a Rogers City cell, which is way up to the north. But sorry, I'm zooming around for y'all. Way down here near Tri-Cities, just to the north of Tri-Cities near Omer. This is Aranac County heading up towards Turner. Some weak rotation ongoing directly on M65, directly over the town of Twinning. So we'll keep an eye on that, maybe for a special weather statement soon. Cells all up and down this line continue to show some weak rotation, especially northeast lower. For portions of the thumb, this looks more of like a damaging winds and even maybe a small to borderline severe hail threat. Mike's got a good cloud top on his cam. Take that real quick. Very nice anvil. Mushroom top there on the left side of the screen. We'll go back to the radar. We appreciate our chaser partners that are out there right now chasing for us. Thank you for the live shots. There's a sailboat race today starting in Port Huron. That's going to be interesting. Definitely some inclement weather if it's ongoing right now or in the near future. He said it's from Mackinac, from Port Huron to Mackinac. Starts in Port Huron. Yeah, so that is going to be right. They're going to be dodging all of this inclement weather. You can see all of these cells all up and down Lake Huron right now. All strong to maybe even severe over the waters. Anywhere you see these blue warnings, by the way, those are special marine warnings. So think of it as a severe thunderstorm warning for marine. And again, that is what is ongoing here for portions of northeastern. Sorry, directions are different on the lake. Offshore Alpena down to Harrisville, and portions of Central Lake north of Port Austin, all in those special marine warnings. We also have a special marine warning that extends from Port Sanilac south through the St. Clair River as well at the current time. So very sketchy day out there to be on the waters with these severe winds rolling in. And speaking of severe winds, only one severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now in the state of Michigan. That is continuing for portions of Macomb and extreme eastern Wayne counties, but I believe these winds are just about to leave here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. We could see a warning soon where the Boeing segment is apexing out over Emmett. Again, where we get these kind of the back end, kind of looks like a little bit of a backwards hook, but you get that nice little Boeing segment. That is where the winds have a little bit of a rear inflow jet that pushes that wind out in one direction, and again, that will be where the winds are maybe gusting of 50 to 60 miles per hour, which is why there is a special weather statement in effect right now from the National Weather Service office in Detroit for portions of northern St. Clair. So taking a zoom out look at the big picture, the only concerns right now are the cells that have the boxes around them. So there's 4 special weather statements. Presque Isle County, this storm that's rolling into Alpena County up there, also in portions of Oscoda. You have the St. Clair and Sanilac County area. We have this big one for portions of Lapeer, although you can see at this current time that there's really no storms inside this special weather statement box, so that'll likely be good to go. Anyone that's living in that box will be good to go in the next 5 minutes. But the severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Macomb, southern Macomb, sorry, and far eastern Wayne County in effect till 2:30 at the latest.
Excuse me.
If you're trying to send photos in the live stream, again, we can't see them. Feel free to send them in our other posts on our Facebook page. Also, if you guys are sending in stars on Facebook, again, thank you guys very much. We cannot really see those as well. So if there is a comment that's associated with stars, you're trying to answer a question, unfortunately, we can't see them. But we do appreciate your support either way. If you do want to send in a super chat on YouTube, that is the best way to get a question answered.
Yeah, the good news, though, Monroe County, Wayne County looks to be about clear from these storms.
I was going to say
Macomb's
that.
about to be clear.
Yeah,
You
about
just said
next 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, these storms are pushing out of the counties into Canada. So Monroe is especially clear. Looks like everybody's good to go in Monroe County. Wayne County's got a few, minutes left for the Grosse Pointe area. Excuse me. And then Macomb County has a few minutes left on Sterling Heights, Clinton Township area.
We are now rolling into the 2 o'clock hour in a couple seconds. Quick recap here. Again, I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma with Ryan, sitting right below me here. And we are the Michigan Storm Chasers, coming in our 3-year anniversary, and we are covering severe weather across the state here in the middle of July, primarily in the Detroit region, where we saw live on our Dearborn cam just a short while ago some 60 to 70 mile per hour winds blow right through town. And again, that impacted portions of Detroit, and at the current time is starting to weaken out a little bit. No tornadoes downtown. It was just damaging winds of 60 to 70.
I've yet to see any reports of damage from anywhere really today. I've seen a lot of cool pictures of clouds and shelf clouds, but I haven't seen any damage.
That's good. Looks like a nice pocket of gusty winds moving again, where that apex is blowing out right down Imlay City Road, just south of Avoca. So Imlay City Road at Brown Road, just to the northeast of Emmett. That could be winds of 60 miles per hour. We could see a severe warning come in soon for Sanilac County, as I previously mentioned. Also continuing to watch as Sella is moving into the Harbor Beach region. That has been showing signs of perhaps stronger winds mixing in, 50 to 60. Tough to tell being so far away from the radar site, but it looks like it could be at least worthy of a special weather statement. Again, that's heading towards Harbor Beach, which do have a cam on. Ryan, if you want to take your radar real quick, that'd be awesome. I gotta go real quick. Just let me know.
Live. Alrighty. I'm good to go.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay, there you go.
Perfecto. So we have numerous storms impact the Lenawee, Monroe, Wayne, Washtenaw, Livingston, Oakland, Macomb counties here. So this line has progressed off into Lake Erie, so Monroe County. You guys have some showers there in the Monroe downtown area. Otherwise, Monroe is all clear. Wayne County, that warning continues, especially up here toward the Grosse Pointe area. That's Grosse Pointe Shores, Farms, and Grosse Pointe Park. Downtown Detroit, you are all clear from the gustiest of winds. You could still have a lightning risk, so stay indoors a few minutes longer as this storm progresses eastward here. That warning continues for another 27 minutes, but will likely be expired here or perhaps canceled or trimmed back towards the east here. Up here into Macomb County, we also have a warning in effect here for the southeast part of Oakland, although Oakland County is pretty much all clear. Got a few lightning strikes on the back end of the storm. Wouldn't be a shocker there, but the southern part of Macomb County here by St. Clair Shores and Sterling Heights remains within that warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Going further north here into St. Clair County, there's no warning, but a blue box is in effect here. That's a statement for 55 up to 55-mile-per-hour winds. And that's going to also be for pea-sized hail. So not quite severe, just a step below, close to it, but not quite too severe levels here. Wouldn't be shocked, though, looking at the latest couple scans of velocity. We do have a couple pixels there close to, if not at 60 or so miles per hour. Severe criteria is 58 miles per hour. And according to the radar here, we're at that in some areas. But again, the radar beam is shooting up a few thousand feet in the atmosphere. So it's not reading what's on the surface. It's reading what's in like 4,000 or 5,000 feet up above our heads. So strong winds are occurring above the heads, probably close to the ground as well. But overall, we're not quite sure if it's mixing down to the ground yet at this time. Further north here, we do have additional cells that Joel mentioned up by Harbor Beach, moving to the east-northeast. No statement on this. Wouldn't be shocked if this gets statemented. Looking at the velocity here, you can see the brighter increased velocity on the back end of that cell. Wouldn't be shocked to see some gusty winds up there in northern Sanilac and southern southeastern Huron County. Then back here to the west, we're looking at these storms back by Saginaw. These are just showers at this point. We're not really seeing too much anything of concern here. I see Tyler's up there as well. He's our chaser in the top there on the left side top screen. He's up there in the, looks like Clio area. And then up here in the northeastern part of the state, we have numerous showers and storms ongoing, none of which are severe. We have a couple areas of storms down here by the Whittemore, East Tawas, Tawas City areas, moving to the east-northeast here at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. Further north, we have a couple cells up here near the Alcona area in Alcona County. A couple gusty winds, perhaps, but no statement on that one. And then this cell looks like this is recently moved out of the statement area, but this one could have some weak rotation as well as some gusty winds on it just south of Long Rapids here near Spratt. And then going further north here by Rogers City, that cell is moving on to Lake Huron or by Belknap. Have a couple areas of some heavier rain, perhaps some hail there by Belknap. But that is the rundown of what's happening. Only severe in the state currently is down here in the Wayne and Macomb County areas, and that is pushing into Lake St. Clair. Once again, I said it yesterday. I'm going to say it again. We need a camera sponsor over here by Algonac facing the west here. We have so many storms that cross Lake St. Clair. We have very little information on this area. So if we get a camera somewhere along Lake St. Clair, if you own a business or residents there, want to sponsor a camera, please reach out to us. We would love to have a camera here. But otherwise, the southern part of St. Clair County could be impacted by this storm by Algonac. But generally speaking, the winds here appear to be on the weaker side, so I wouldn't at this time expect there to be an additional warning issued for St. Clair County. I think the strongest cell currently appears on radar in the St. Clair, northern part of St. Clair County, up here by Brockway, along Avoca and Atkins area, moving toward Lakeport and Blaine. Gusty winds up to around 50 to 60 miles per hour being displayed on radar. A statement is in effect there for 55 mile per hour winds and pea-sized hail. I'm watching the Harbor Beach camera here. It is facing to the north. So if this cell does progress to the northeast here, they'll continue and likely have a view of this on the right side of the camera screen here soon. I'm not going to display it just yet until Joel's back. But for right now, we're going to watch this cell by Harbor Beach. There's no statement or warning on it, but it does have some increased velocity here in the Huron County, Sanilac County line. So yeah, there's not too much going on at this current time. A lot of storms out there. A few of them could be strong with gusty winds being the primary threat. We have some weak rotation up there in northern lower, but not going to be too concerned about that at this current moment. Any questions, guys? Feel free to drop them in chat here. I see Joel's back now. Questions for the west side of the state. Right now, we're clear. There's a chance we could have a pop-up storm through the afternoon and evening, but it's a low chance. I think the strongest of the storms is over here on the east side of the state. So from the west side, pop-up storm possible, but it shouldn't be severe in nature. And if it is, it'll be pretty isolated, so nothing widespread. I also see via the Grand Rapids radar, there's a cell trying to pop up by me again. Indeed, there is. So another cell here trying to develop in Lenawee County. We'll watch that. Not too much going on there. I think the strongest cell is going to be over here in northern St. Clair. So we'll keep it right here. Looks like we have Tyler with a shot of a base or a shelf cloud there. He's up just north of Flint. Yeah, he's just north of Flint near Clio, going to the west toward Montrose. Awesome view there. It may get a little windy there. There's a new statement coming in for Alcona County. We just talked about that cell recently. I have to pop in here. It's going to be for the extreme eastern portion of Alcona County. Harrisville, Alcona, and Guston areas. It's going to be for wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour and no hail. So, gusty winds there. That could be confirmed by radar as well.
Definitely some, at least, broad rotation for portions of Alpena County, as well as that new special weather statement that's coming in for the Harrisville area in Alcona. Very weak, though, at the current time, and it looks like it's still staying elevated, so we like to see it. If we can escape today with just the couple severe warnings we've had, I'd say it's a pretty decent day overall. And again, tomorrow, no severe weather expected in the state of Michigan. We're no longer in severe weather ops anymore either. So good news there. The bottom of your screen, special weather statement is the highest active warning. Right side of the screen is now where Tyler's storm is at. So we have Tyler, who is in Flint area. So he's on the storm right here. Switch it back. Nice heavy downpour. Heading into Clio. Birch Run. Nothing severe. We'll go ahead and switch it back to the Detroit radar. And the severe thunderstorm warning has been canceled for Wayne and Macomb and Oakland. So we are no longer in severe weather ops. But we could have another one soon. Primarily, we're still watching the Lakeport-Gardendale region, where winds are, according to radar, gusting around 50 to 55 miles per hour at about 3,500 feet off the ground. So tough to tell what's mixing to the ground and what's not. But again, good indication there that at least some strong winds are ongoing. Directly over Gibbons Road, which is a north-south road through the area, and Wildcat Road, between those two roads near Norman Road.
Harbor Beach camera has that storm about to pass over. Just started to rain there. Not a great view just yet, but it's starting to rain. Not to imagine it might get pretty gusty here as that storm passes over. I'm more so curious what's going to show once it passes completely over and moves off into the distance. There's actually a statement that just got issued for Harbor Beach. Winds up to 50 and pea-size hail.
So your radar has it before me.
Yep, there it is. Harbor Beach, as well as White Rock, Helena, Ruth, and Pulowski areas. We were just talking about this area not like 3 or 4 days ago for funnel clouds. Now we're talking about winds. 50-mile-per-hour winds here, not severe. They're just below severe criteria.
Going back to our YouTube comment section real quick, just checking on our special or our super chats. We got Fun Times with the $20 super chat saying, "Thank you, MSC team. I know I might repeat the same words, but you truly are the gems of Michigan storm chasing, and you keep everyone safe. To everyone, or everyone is grateful for all you do. Road to 60K subs on YouTube." Thank you, Fun Times, for that super chat as always. And continued support. Spar Outdoors with a $5 super chat. Just another YouTuber showing respect for what y'all do. Thank you to Spar as well. And we also have a question from Patricia with a 199 super chat. After these storms, are we done or more to come? Did you answer that one yet, Ryan? I don't know. I was away. So
I did when you got back on the west side. I briefly mentioned that we're not really expecting too much to happen on the west side of the state, but we can't rule out a pop-up storm that shouldn't be severe through the evening hours.
Gotcha. It is wild how we saw that big shift over the last 48 hours. Went from West Michigan to Central Michigan over to East Central, and then it's now over to East today. But that's what happens. Again, systems do shift, and you get the severe focal points that shift as well. So not much we can do for West Michigan, but hopefully you guys got enough rain to help out with your drought conditions over the last 24 to 48 hours before today. If not, next chance at rain appears to be, I believe, midweek, like I was seeing. So wait another couple days for more rain to potentially move in for portions of the state again. So at the current time, no severe warnings in effect anywhere in the state, but we have a boatload of special weather statements, about 4 of them right now, from northeast lower down into the Thumb. So we got Cell 1 up here in Alpena County. This is for 40-mile-per-hour winds only. You have this cell that is now moving offshore for 40-mile-per-hour winds as well in the Harrisville region. You get down into the Thumb, where we do have that newest special weather statement in effect for winds of 50 and pea-sized hail possible. And then lastly, our 50 to 55-mile-per-hour winds and pea-sized hail moving into the Lakeport region as well as Gardendale. Metro Detroit, nothing going on right now. We're also watching a couple cells pop up behind this first line, so up towards Aranac County. We also have cells down here along I-75 from Saginaw to Flint, which Tyler is on. I gotta bring his cam back in here. There we go. But yeah, pretty slow going out there right now. I'd love to see it. So hopefully it stays this way as these storms continue to roll off towards Ontario and Lake Huron. I noticed in the comments section of one of our posts that someone shared a photo of where all the racers are right now in the Huron to Mackinac race. They are in that special marine warning right now offshore of Lexington Heights. So they might get split by these storms if they continue to go faster off to the north. You can see there is not a whole lot happening across Sanilac County right now. Most of these cells are in St. Clair, but they are moving northeast, so the slower boaters might get caught by this line of gusty showers. And again, they probably don't want to go too fast because then they'll run into the storm by Harbor Beach up here in the thumb. It's a lot of maneuvering to do. I had a comment here, Ryan, saying that DT has reported over 12,500 without power.
Well, I just actually refreshed the statewide map, and we are statewide. The total is. Well, I guess I'm dumb. I just exited out. Give me a second. 17,500. That's statewide.
Not too terrible, but again, for the people that are without power, condolences, of course. Hopefully it does get restored fairly quickly. Yeah, but tomorrow being a clear day, hopefully they have a lot of time to go out and do that.
Camera is shaking at Harbor Beach.
Gotta throw the camera up, feel free.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm probably not sharing that. So, there we go. And stand by.
You said there we go. I was ready.
I know. There we go.
Oh wow.
You can see if you look closely on the water, you can see the rain curtains getting blown outward.
Yep.
I'd probably estimate around 30 mile an hour or so.
You probably could you right click zoom on that? Yeah. This is live from Harbor Beach looking off to the north. There is that special weather statement now in effect for some gusty winds and maybe even some small hail. 50 miles per hour wind, 50 mile per hour wind and pea-sized hail are the main hazards with this strong thunderstorm. Oh, I missed a couple of super chats as well. Dashcam, welcome to the channel as an EF1 member. We also have Dark with a $5 super chat saying, hey, they're reporting some dark clouds and some gusty winds in Clinton Township earlier. Bunkering down right now just to be safe. Thank you for that report from earlier. Appreciate your support and the reports as always.
Here we go.
Zoom back out a little bit.
It's really picking up.
Holy cow.
I might actually take this down a notch.
Gusty occurrence number 2 on live cam today. First it was Dearborn, now it's Harbor Beach.
I'd still, looking at the trees, looking at the wind, I'd probably estimate between 45 and 50-ish or so.
Yeah.
I don't think this is quite severe, at least not yet. But definitely gusty. This camera faces north-northwest here at Harbor Beach Marina. So thank you to the City of Harbor Beach for letting us install the camera here. And as always, thank you to Guardian for installing and sponsoring the camera.
We're almost at that time where the coverage of storms is so minimal that we might be able to cut our live coverage here for a little bit. Again, we still have probably a good half hour here as these storms are continuing slowly off to the east, but at the current time, no severe warnings in effect. So just a couple special weather statements out there, but again, no severe. Right now, all of these alerts also butting up to Lake Huron at the current time. All of them, literally all 4 of them. And that live shot right now is from Harbor Beach.
Still pretty gusty there.
Mm-hmm. We'll take a quick check at the radar. Strongest storm right now appears to be up and down this line from St. Clair County heading into Port Huron, Gardendale, Lakeport. 50-mile-per-hour winds possible here, maybe even as high as 55. Keep an eye out there. If you are in this area, make sure you're taking shelter inside, away from any trees. Same story up here for Harbor Beach, north of Forestville, where we're seeing those gusty winds on cam. And then, as always, we have these cells up here in northeast lower, which are exhibiting some stronger winds. But at the current time, looks like we're good in terms of like rotation and stuff. So looks like just a primarily a damaging wind risk up there right now. We actually have a handoff to a second cell that is across southwest Alpena County. We'll have to keep an eye on as well for maybe a new statement.
Camera.
Whoa. Holy cow.
Just really intensified there.
Oh, there's something
There's stuff rolling
across the parking lot there.
And it's in the lake.
It's about
Whatever
to be.
it is going to the lake.
Holy cow.
Maybe the berm brought. Whoa. All right. Wow.
That's got to be at least 60.
Crazy. That went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Oh, and there it all goes off into the lake.
It almost looks like RFD almost because it's all getting sucked out.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oop, a little bit of a wind
Wow.
shift. A little bit of a wind shift there. It was funny. I was looking at the radar. We turned it back, and it's just a wall of blowing rain.
Literally, that's all it was. I'll be getting that up on the page here momentarily.
Mm-hmm. Now look at it. Completely calm. Are those the objects from the marina out there in the water?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know if you're able to zoom in on that real quick. That looks like objects. Unless those are rocks. It could be rocks. Maybe I just
Looks
haven't
like there's
noticed them
rocks.
before.
There's more over here too.
Yeah.
I think the object that blue is right there,
there.
whatever that is.
Yeah. You can see if you on this cam here, you can see on Ryan's screen shares, you can see that entire anvil structure. That kind of you have the updraft on the center right side of your screen there, where the clouds billow up, and then you have the top of the updraft and an entire anvil top that stretches across the top of the screen. So it's very, very cool. Exhibiting a very tall storm out there today. The echo tops on this storm are right at 39,000 feet, so fairly tall. That's from the Detroit radar. If I go to the Grand Rapids, I bet it's a little taller. Maybe not. Outside of the range. Oh yeah, they are much taller. The storm over Harbor Beach is at 44,500 feet. The storm to the north that I believe that Cam is looking at, that you can see on Ryan's cam right now, that's a separate storm out there. That storm is the one that has the big anvil top that you can see on the screen. That one is up at 51,000 feet. So very, very, very tall. many miles up.
That was about a good minute of insane winds that's going to be posted to the page. So give me a second here.
So here's Harbor Beach on radar. So I take my cam back here just real quickly before I turn it back to Ryan's. This is the storm that just hit directly over Harbor Beach. You can't really see the cloud tops on it. This is the storm that you can see on the north cam. And again, anywhere you see these darker browns, that's going to be close to 50,000 or over 50,000 feet on that storm. You go back to Ryan's radar and you can see just how tall that is out there. And that entire top side of the screen is the overshooting anvil from that storm. So very, very cool. Very, very powerful storm. Thankfully heading over just the waters right now, heading up towards central portions of Lake Huron. Amy S. with coming back from month number 1 after month number 1 here as an EF2 member, saying thank you for all you do. No problem, Amy. Welcome back for another month. Appreciate your support. I haven't had Cody's cam in a while. Let's see if it's back. It's not. No problem. Thank you for all the nice comments, everyone. Appreciate y'all. What's up, Brian?
We have a new marine warning offshore of Elkona for a waterspout possible. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Be this storm right here. Yeah, I'll say. Right there.
Yep.
So y'all can see on the velocity radar, again, the reds and greens close together, offshore of Black River. So if you live in Harrisville, closest shot you're going to have at it is looking offshore from Black River. So if you're in the Black River community, look off to your east, probably a couple miles out there. There may be a waterspout ongoing. We will never be able to tell unless we have visual confirmation, because again, we don't get to see debris from waterspouts, so correlation coefficient's not gonna do that well unless maybe it is picking up fish, which not uncommon. The only product we have out there is the human eye, and obviously your velocity product here, which is your reds and greens close together. The brighter the colors and the closer the colors they are together, the stronger the rotation and the tighter the rotation. So that is the potential waterspout. Also, this cell is trying to wrap up as well, Ryan. The cell that is in Alpena County has shown signs of perhaps getting an inflow notch on it. Some reds and greens there. This is going to be passing over Beaver Lake Road, at Beaver Lake Road and Grise Road. Pretty rural, but flat, open portions of Alpena County here as this heads eventually off in the direction of Alpena. At the very least, I would expect probably some nice downdraft winds ongoing in this, so maybe even a severe warning coming soon for Alpena. Keep an eye on that storm behind the scenes. Honestly, I don't know if is there anything in the thumb that is looking concerning right now. Is everything offshore? Gardendale looks like there's a couple pockets here of 55 miles per hour wind. That could also be extending down into Port Huron proper. Anything south of that, though, maybe 30 and 40 down along the river, but it looks like 40 to 50. Port Huron and north up towards Lakeport at the current time. But I believe at the current time that the most concerning thing will be a rotating storm here across Alpena County. And we have what's happening up there today in Alpena County is, or just in northeast Michigan in general, is we have the low pressure system. The center of the low pressure system is further to the north. In the vicinity of the low pressure system, there is a lot more spin, and so what's happening is that these storms are more likely to start rotating than the storms further to the south. Simply put. So if you know anyone in Alpena, feel free to give them a little bit of a heads up just in case. Again, there's a weak rotating storm heading into their vicinity. Still about 15 miles outside of town, but it's heading their way. And again, water spout possible or ongoing offshore of Elkona County. If you're in Black River, look to the east onto Lake Huron. You might see it if it's down. Iosco
Back
County.
the Harbor Beach camera, there is a beautiful updraft. Excuse me. You can see the anvil of the bigger storm and a smaller storm below that going up there. So, very picturesque view here. Oh, that's pretty cool. Also, I have a couple forms here for weather cameras that you guys are filling out, but the last 3 have not included any contact information. So if you guys are going to fill a form out, please leave your phone number and or email for us to get a hold of you, because all I have are names to go off of. That doesn't really help me. So if you guys are filling out those forms for cameras, please leave information on how to contact you.
Yes. If we don't have contact information, we will not contact you back.
There's no way.
There's literally no way.
I'm not going to guess if somebody's name is, it takes a lot of. I don't think you can do that, Joel. If you just have a name to go search on the page and try and find somebody, that's a really hard way of doing things. We have almost 500,000 people who follow us.
Yeah. Yeah, on Facebook specifically. We're closing in on 450K on Facebook. If you want to follow us there. If you haven't yet, join the nearly half a million Michiganders that have. Feel free to do so today. Again, our Facebook account, just Michigan Storm Chasers, has the blue verification check next to it as well. Over here on YouTube, smaller crowd, but more of a lively crowd. 60,000 we're closing in on here on YouTube. We're getting very close. We're under 500 now. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button here on YouTube, feel free to do so. Y'all get a dance from yours truly once we hit 60K. So encouragement to subscribe on YouTube. It is free to do. And on occasion, people do give away memberships for 30 days. So all the incentives. Still some shine. Still the rotation continues. Now crossing onto Wolf Creek Road at Dege Road. I don't know. D-E-G-E. Could be pronounced multiple ways.
Yeah, let's see. If you're really south of I-69 in southeast Michigan, you are all clear from storms that are severe. We have a couple storms going on in the thumb still,
Yep.
but for the most part, southeast Michigan is pretty much done for the day. Again, across the state, there's a chance for another pop-up storm that may try to go up, but it shouldn't be severe. And if it is severe, very isolated and brief in nature. Once these storms are off onto Lake Huron up in northeastern Michigan, I think we'll be good to end the stream here.
Yeah, I'm going to monitor the Alpena cell as well, but it looks like the gusty winds are now in Port Huron and Gardendale itself, about 5 minutes away from moving into Ontario as well as Lake Huron. And then we move up to the cell, which continues to show rotation in Alpena County, and that is still heading directly in towards Alpena. Otherwise, there's nothing else out there right now that catches my eye. Cells are continuing across Tuscola County in the thumb, but those are not anywhere near severe limits that I'm seeing. Unless you're seeing differently, Ryan. I think we're good there.
The biggest concern I see on radar besides that rotation up in northeast lower is just north of Port Huron downtown via the Cassett radar near Gardendale. Got a pocket close to 50 it appears on radar, but that's about it. Kind of looking for a water spout on the Harbor Beach camera, just because you got some cumulus going up.
Mm-hmm.
A close eye here on this cloud deck. All clear from the.
It's kind of a waiting game at the current time. We're in that stretch of the live stream now where things are starting to get quiet. Not a whole lot to talk about, but we like it that way.
You said the Q word.
Shoot. Forgot. My bad.
At the latest scan, that rotation is pretty much weakened out.
It's weaker. It's still there, but it's a little bit weaker on the latest scan for sure.
You guys are just screwing with us now with that form. I got like 3 more forms coming in that have no names now, so we're gonna fix this. You guys abused the system too much.
A threat later today is very minimal. I believe it came through pretty early today. Unless that cold front, Ryan, can speed up, the one that's over in the UP right now. Again, that extends all the way down through Wisconsin. If that can speed up for whatever reason, then we could see stronger storms later tonight. But it would have to like really, really start speeding up to get over here into West Michigan. But I don't believe it's got a chance. Not to tempt fate, but I just looks like today was kept shifting east further and further to the point where everything pretty much stayed to the east of 127, as we mentioned in this morning's forecast. There's an audio loop. There is? Ryan, speak. Oh, you're not even... You're muted right now.
It should be coming through desktop. Yeah, there I am. I'm coming through desktop. Go to top. All the way to the top. There it is. You see my audio coming through there?
You shouldn't be coming through anything else. The only way is if it's coming through my mic. Are we good in Harbor Beach? You guys should be good. There is still a line of showers and storms off to your west, but at the current time, not looking strong. Just normal garden variety thunderstorms. Jess C with a 199 super chat. We made it kayaking. Thank you for your advice. No problem, Jess. Glad you had a great day out there in the water.
I believe she was in the briefing last night.
I just heard my first cicada of the summer. Just now. Wild fact. On July 12th. There's a comment from Colin in here about the cameras, Ryan.
Yes, we're asking for sponsors to financially foot the bill for that in return for advertising when we use the camera feed. So you're just going to shout out Gargin or Old Stone Porch, Hampton Inn, Charlotte Fire Department, Mirestone Ranch. We can verbally give you guys shout outs, tag your pages when we use the camera feed. But yes, we're asking you guys as sponsors to pay for it. These are high quality cameras. The install process is not as simple as just installing a Wise camera somewhere. No, this is a Ethernet running camera that is 24/7 for us. So it is high in quality and it requires a high end install, which is why it's a little pricey.
I think at this point we're just waiting on... We're just waiting on this cell to be done. Special marine warning continues for waterspout possible. Or new special marine warning. This is for that storm that had already the waterspout possible. Is now continuing further on the Lake Huron. Microphone, so I don't get it. My microphone is really touchy, so like it picks up on everything in the background, but for whatever reason my voice is still quiet. I don't understand. Like it should be blurting into your ears. I don't get it sometimes.
Yeah, I'm looking at the audio mixer here. Joel's microphone is up 17 times.
Yeah, that's 17 dBz.
The normal value is up 17 times. Sometimes on my daily videos, I get comments, turn your volume up. I'm like, I'm already at 8.5x what I'm supposed to be at. Like, if I turn up any louder, it's going to start distorting the audio.
Mm-hmm. Storm is still holding on to some strength there, as it's now within about 5 miles of downtown Alpena. Also have a couple cells that are moving north of Posen that are starting to weaken. Good news there.
Yeah, if you're in southeast Michigan, pretty much anywhere, those storms are moved off. So, I mean, honestly, it's pretty much, I'm going to say, severe threat's over. Again, we have a potential for a pop-up storm or two through the afternoon here. Especially, Joel, we haven't even got to peak heating technically yet. 3, 4, 5 o'clock is when we reach our peak heating of the day. So we could have some more pop-ups that try to go up. But this was the main line that we were expecting to produce severe weather, and it did in areas. So, but right now, at least, the main line has now moved out into Ontario. Maybe getting some rain, some light rain showers there in the far eastern part of the state. But otherwise, severe weather right now is over. Joel, what do you think here?
I don't know. The cell that's rolling into Alpena could get something. That's I'm still waiting on. It looks still pretty strong right now. I'm gonna wait and see.
While we wait, we'll go ahead and cycle through our sponsors here who keep operations rolling at Michigan Storm Chasers. We got Storm Guard Roofing and Construction, based in Detroit metro area. We got Lifestyle Exteriors, based in the Lansing area. Cat's Roofing and Siding, based in Potterville. We got Pro Powder, based in South Haven for powder coating needs. We got Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding, based up into Thumb, Sanilac, St. Clair counties. McKay Tree Specialists, They're our spotlight sponsor of the day. If you have tree damage from today's storms or just need general tree care or maintenance, feel free to give McKay a call at 248-308-7308. They cover all of Southeast Michigan if you are east of US 127 or south of I-69. We have Kuiper Tree Care. They are based in West Michigan. We have FBI Buildings. They are a barndominium builder across much of Lower Michigan. On Top Roofing, based in Livingston County. Schneider Commercial Building Solutions for commercial building or roofing solution needs across Michigan. Also, we have Shield Public Adjusters for insurance claim or adjusting needs. Get a hold of them across the state. We have Top Gun Roofing and Exteriors, based in West Michigan. A-Class Restoration and Construction, based in Mason County up there in Western Michigan. Rainbow Restoration, based in Kent County. Rapid Radios, our communications sponsor here for two-way communication with our chasers in the field. And last but not least, our Skycam sponsor, but also providing audio, video, and security across Michigan. They're located in Burton, Guardian Technologies. These sponsors help keep us operating here at MSC. They also provide services to you guys in the event you may need their services. So if you experience damage to your roof, siding, trees, or just need restoration, basement flood, stuff like that, feel free to get in contact with us. Or if you know which sponsor is in your area, get in contact with them directly. They'll be happy to help you out. We'll be happy to put you in touch with the proper people if you do not know what sponsor covers your area.
Yes, thank you to our
With that
sponsors.
said, sorry, go ahead.
I said thank you to our sponsors. Again, can't do it without them. What we do here at MSC is not free for us, so appreciate their support as always. Watching intensely that Alpina cell.
It's
I'm
almost-
just honed in on it right now. It's coming right into downtown. About a mile and a half outside of downtown at the current time. Could get gusty, honestly. There's a lot of brighter greens in there that might be mixing in. So some decent wind field could be occurring. If you're in Alpena, let us know when it is safe to do so. Otherwise, probably a good bet to just be inside. A lot of lightning out there today as well. Be inside away from exterior walls until the storm does pass through. This is really the only cell that we're still monitoring here. All of these storms that are in the eastern portions of Lower Michigan are now no longer under any sort of statement. So the only statement left is for the cell in Alpena, which is in effect until 3 o'clock. Estimated winds on these around 40 according to base velocity. 40 at the most. And if the storms are not concerning you and you're hopping off, before you hop off, obviously hit that like button. And if you're new here to the state of Michigan, make sure you're following along, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch TV, or X. We are always live on all 4 of those platforms. If you guys are hopping off, we'll see you next time for another instance of severe weather coverage, or maybe even a severe weather briefing, or even a Sunday Night Weekly. You name it, we'll be here. We'll be covering it. We hope to see you guys back soon. As it stands, we're going to stay live here for a couple more minutes as these cells, or the cell that we're watching, rolls through Alpena with light rotation and perhaps some 40-mile-per-hour winds, just in case it does happen to get warned at the last second. We don't want to jump off and have to jump back on either. If you have damage from today's storms, primarily looking in the southeast Metro Detroit region, feel free to send them to us on our page. You can send them in the comments on any one of our posts. Don't put them in the live stream. We won't be able to see them. But on any other of our posts, you can do that. Damage reports also always accepted in our storm reports group called Michigan Weather Reports. That is a community group on Facebook. If you have any cool cloud photos from today, feel free to send them over to our other community page called Michigan Storm Community. And as always, if you just want to talk about the weather, if you have weather anxiety, All those and more can be found. You can also tune into our Discord server. There is a channel specifically for those who may be struggling with weather anxiety. We have a support group for you guys on there. Our Discord server link is discord.gg/Michigan Storm Chasers. It's also another location you can send in your damage reports to. Quick look at the entire state. The only storms in the entire state right now are going to be in Tuscola County, Alpena, Presque Isle, moving offshore of Iosco, turning into rain showers. We have a couple showers maybe forming back here in Lake County, and then obviously we have the cold front in the Upper Peninsula, which has not done anything all day. There was a chance that it could have. But the current time looks like all winds are sub-strong, sub-severe. So cold front is pretty quiet out there, and the only storms that are worth mentioning are in Alpena. Rain in Alpena. Thank you for that report.
Latest outage map here across Michigan. We're at 17,700 people without power. So not too many. We've had events that have kicked up 200,000 people, so 17,000 in comparison is not all too many.
You're good, Mint. Don't worry. We do have some audio issues sometimes, so it's always good to try and figure those out. Thank you. I left my headphones at home, otherwise I'd be wearing them right now. That's on me. Any chance it echoes? No problem, everyone. Thank you for the nice comments. They are appreciated very much. After a long day like today, again, we've been live for another 3-hour segment here. It's July 12th. Ryan, you looked like you were like, really? Yeah, 2 hours and rolling in at 2 hours and 50 minutes coming up here in about 20 seconds. So
It's 4, and I keep thinking it's like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
I know it feels
And
like
I
it's
realize it's only
super late in the day, and it's only 3.
Yep. I feel like it's much later than what it is. Storm over Alpena looks like it's weakened considerably. I don't even see any rotation on it anymore, or height and velocity. Unless you see it, I can't talk. Unless you see differently.
It's another self-fouling right in its wake. That's funny. No, it looks like it's clear. It looks like it's all fizzled out. So I think we'll be able to hop off.
Yep. So all clear, I think, is in order here across Michigan. Again, pop-up storm or 2 if possible. In fact, Joel, go ahead and take a look at Menominee County. As I was doing the last radar check across the state, we got some cells that popped up.
Well, yeah, along the cold front. That's what we just mentioned.
Yep. So additional pop-up cells are possible. We can't rule out a severe storm or 2 through the afternoon and evening tonight. We have to get through peak heating yet, so we could rebuild some of that instability. Still a possibility. but the main concern is now pushed off into Canada. So we should be pretty isolated in nature with anything else that pops up or becomes severe across lower Michigan, or even perhaps the UP. So, with that said, if we need to go back live, well, we will. We've never missed a warning here at MSC in 2.5 years. So, if we're not live, that means there's nothing to worry about. There's no severe storm going on. If we are live, though, feel free to tune in, check back in with us. We'll cover everything we need to cover in detail from beginning to end.
Absolutely. As always, make sure you're following us on all of our social media sites. We have about 8 different ones. YouTube, Facebook are our main ones. As always, if you want to support the channel monetarily, you don't have to do so, but we do have a merch store, holicity.co, which will be changing soon, I believe. Sneak peek there. So holicity.co is our merch store if you would like to buy some merch. And as always, if you'd like to support our operations at MSC, you can become a Patreon member at patreon.com/Michigan Storm Chasers. But again, I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma alongside Ryan. We are going to hop off for now. We might see you guys later tonight. If not, have a great rest of your weekend. We'll catch you soon sometime here at MSC. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there and stay cool.